Big up to all those on YouTube land. We are back with Blues Brothers again, episode 60. We had to loan JPT out to his work because he's become really busy over Christmas and stuff. But of course, we get a natural replacement in JK. Big up to you, brother. How you doing today?
Man, we're all good over here, man. Listen, welcome to the new era of the Blue Brothers, the Blues Brothers TV. Listen, your new co-host JK. I know you guys have been seeing me a lot, often or not, but
Always
yeah,
late.
yeah, always late. The person is always late.
Today
Listen,
was no
but
exception.
listen, that's about to change. Yeah, man. Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
of
that's
course,
gonna change,
be the
man.
host with the most, and hopefully me and JK can have good discussions and laughs. And JPT will be
Mm,
back eventually, but it's just what I mean, like he's got to work. So sooner or later he'll be back though. Fingers crossed as well. And obviously JK is he's always been a
mm,
panelist, but now hopefully he's got a more permanent residence.
mm.
Uh, Everyone hopefully is having a Merry Christmas and doing their thing. As I said, we were just talking backstage. So you were playing what was it? What other games was you playing during Christmas? I guess.
Obviously, there were games. You know, there's a game called Mafia. There's a game called Mafia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've heard of Articulate, right?
Which one?
Articulate? Okay, you probably haven't. Yeah, it's a board game. Obviously, you play with like a lot of family members. So what you do is like you've got like a box and all of that shit. And what it is, you just got it's a bit like a board game, heads down, thumbs up. If you get what I'm saying, a bit like that.
Man said
But
head
yeah,
down, palm up.
a bit like that. But it's a bit different. But once you guys get the chance, yeah, you guys should try play it. It's actually quite
That's
fun.
way back. Heads down, thumbs up.
Yeah, and then you got Imposter as well. Yeah, and that one was funny as hell. I can't lie, I
Alright,
couldn't
well,
stop laughing.
I have to say you sound like you've done better than me, man. All I've done over Christmas is just eat and watch Only Fools and Horses. Like,
Them ones, yeah,
bruv, them ones.
yeah.
Like, I'm not being funny. I've had too much of a stressful year.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, there's some people just want to have like a Christmas where it's just like they just want to be have it like a silent, have it very very silent, just to themselves, just very calm, collected. Yeah, like, something like that. That's why the song kind of reflects these people. You know what I'm saying? So
Just
the
chilled
thing
out,
is with
bro.
me, I don't have a silent night for Christmas. Listen, mine is just it's family, 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 innit?
Yeah, we've had
And also
family
I'm
over.
family oriented. I'm very family oriented. So I'm like, yeah,
But normally after all the
those ones.
Christmas wine they drink at dinner, bro. Like normally about 5:30, they're passed out in the front
What
room.
mulled wine?
Well, no, we had a couple. We had reds, we had whites. What wines did Philip bring?
Red and white.
Just red and white. There we go. So we had a
Yeah.
selection. We
Oh,
had
you
a
had a
selection.
wine selection, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we had rum. We got white rum as well. I'm on the Ray and nephews. So you know what I mean?
Oh gosh,
It's like
Ray nephews,
I'm
yeah.
doing this thing fucking sober, mate. At Christmas, you're wrong.
Are you one of them ones? Are you one of them ones that drinks a Ray nephews full, like half? I don't know. You know them ones that go all in,
Mm.
not even mix it. They just pour that shit in their cup.
No, you gotta mix it, man. I'm not being funny. Like I knew I had to do this. It wasn't like about getting completely plastered. You know
Hundred
what I mean?
percent, bro.
Before we done our thing, like, that would have been bad etiquette. Yeah, I mean, welcome to blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't have been good. I don't
Oh,
slur
but
the
I
words,
can
man.
imagine a high Wolfie. No, I love it. A drunk Wolfie on the Blues Brothers. That'll be funny, fam.
It's like, yeah, welcome to Blues Brothers.
We just.
Yeah,
Oh
I mean,
gosh.
but anyway, we need to get down to it now. First things first, we need to talk about that Newcastle result, man.
Yeah, we do. We do. We do.
Because let's be honest, like I'll start off on this one. I'll just simply say, first half we were disappointing. Second half, Newcastle got worse, and they got so much worse they made us look better.
Mm,
We made a
we
couple
did.
of changes, and things got moved around, and obviously Reece James's free kick got us back into the game,
100.
and obviously their slip, their defenders slipping also gave us the opportunity to get an equalizer, and we were trying to win the game by the end of it. But I want to hear from you, JK, what you think of that football match, man, because boy, we were riding our luck hardcore in that game.
Man, do you know what it is, yeah? With the first half, okay, if I'm gonna be honest, I had the time to watch the full game. The thing is, yeah, the first half. you can just see Newcastle were just like they played to the occasion. And the thing is with these sort of games, you need to understand that you know what, when you go to St James's Park, any tough ground, any atmospheric ground, you know you have to try. You don't you play to the occasion. Try play to the occasion from the at least the first 10 minutes. The thing is this: a lot of these teams they're looking for an early goal. This that's their best chance of winning these days. And Newcastle got it. And when they got it, and even with the way they start with these sort of games, you just know, like with the way you start, you know, it determines whether you win the game or not. Like I don't think people talk about it as well. Even the Leeds game that we had, I just knew we weren't going to win. You know what I'm
Oh, we
saying?
were
And
shocked in that league
and
game,
that's
man.
the thing.
Terrible.
With the starts we have, you can kind of tell if Chelsea are going to win this game or not. And Newcastle was one of those games. I know we came back and all, but that first half it was shambolic. I'm being surreal. The defending was awful. The midfield got overloaded. It was mad, literally. And
Yeah,
also the
Enzo was
setup.
in that more pushed up. He was in that pushed up role, wasn't he, Enzo? He was
Yeah,
in
and
that
it was
further advanced role.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Everything was a mess. It was a big, big, big mess. I was disappointed. I know that we came back and all. The second half, I don't know what happened. I don't know what Maresca said to them. For some reason, they just started to play football now. But then there's something we need to do. We do need to talk about. I think if we change topics, I think we can get there. But I think we understand. To be fair, I can blame this on the game on two things. First, yeah, the wingers. I think Neto and Garnacho missed so many chances to
Oh,
actually
bro,
win the
don't talk
game.
to me about that. That's another guy I want to bring
Uh,
into it, bro.
G-
Oh, God. I can't wait to go
Garnacho,
down with that guy.
the wingers let us down in the second half. I think we could have actually won the game, and maybe that would have changed our opinions on this game. But at the same time, man, it's very, very disappointing going forward. We weren't clinical enough. And also, yeah, I mean, I have to big up the two goals from João Pedro and Reece James, if I'm going to be honest. But then also, Cole Palmer, also, I know he's come back from injury as well, but at the same time, he needs to really step up now, if I'm going to be
Mhm.
honest. This is, we're getting into games where we kind of do need him. And especially even into the build up to his coming back as well. Like, he was supposed to be the person that we turn to, you know what I'm saying? So he kind of does need to, you know what, step up. He hasn't been playing well as well recently, but at the same time, we could say injury, this, that, and the other. At that same time, that guy's gonna run out. So yeah, I'd say yeah, the positives have been, let's say, Reece James and João Pedro, say Caicedo as well, having a good
Mhm.
game as well. So yeah, but then I want to talk about the reason. Okay, I also want to blame Maresca as well. Again, yet again, another game where you, another game where you let the players play and you tell them to. This is what he's okay. This is what he said in a press conference. I think I remember. I remember I sent it to you. Hang on, let me see if I can read it. This
What
is
could
him
I do?
baiting himself. Hang on, this is him
Well,
baiting himself out.
before you delve out, let me do a bit of house clearance, housework. DJK
Yep,
says, "Oh, big ups to the Wolfman and a new co-host with the most, JK."
yeah, big
Miss
ups.
Molina in the building, Arsenal fan, everyone's favorite Canadian says, "Oh, I will to you, man. Big up to you, man." I thought
Yeah,
you were talking about the Newcastle game today. We are talking about the Newcastle game
we
today.
are, mate.
Yeah, I'm just getting home from work, so my brain needs a beer. Okay, your brain needs a beer. We'll let your ass catch up.
Yeah, but I
New
just think it's
co-host, JK
crazy.
is a legend. Yep. I'm sorry, you man.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy that what I need to clarify is this: if a team starts poorly one half, one second half, and is consistent, this is a managerial issue, and
Not
and
setting
and
up there.
and,
Yeah,
and
you're right.
it's and that's the thing. This no one is saying like this is the problem. When you talk about the manager, you always need to address that you know that you don't back the project at all because they're gonna think, oh, the project is fine. They're gonna think I'm saying, oh, the project is fine. It's just the manager. We all know that the project is a failing project, but at the same
It's
time,
not a failing project, but it's not the project we want. We want title winners, and these guys are not title winners, and you can see they're not
yeah,
title winners.
but then Wolfie, it is a failing project then because this is not a title winning project. If you get what I'm saying,
Mm.
even if you look at the context of how they want to run the football club in and out, that's the issue. But then the thing is this, yeah. The thing we all know that we all know the hierarchy has held Chelsea back ever since Roman. I think we all know that they're the issue. At the end of the day, they're the ones that want to sign the players. They're the ones that want to bring in the manager that they want. At the end of the day, they're the ones that present their project to the managers that they think that will take the job, and they just don't. But what I want to, I feel that there has to be accountability like every other areas. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the manager's not getting enough accountability recently, if I'm gonna be honest with you.
We'll go on to the manager in a minute,
But
but
yeah,
because one thing about on the Newcastle game, because this is one thing actually DJ created and putting it out today. Yes, Newcastle lost today against Man United, and to be honest, Eddie Howe's doing what he normally does with Newcastle, go up and down a bit. But what got me was, and you mentioned it there yourself, when you said about why is it that we always rely on our second halves? And because one thing about it is the Leeds game was just one of those ones where the results slipped away from us and it was just no coming back from it. Where Newcastle it was because they just didn't finish us off. Because when you think about the Newcastle game, as much as they cry about VAR and I have to say, I kind of agree that it was a Chalobah, that was a penalty. I know they said it was side by side, but if that was on one of us and like in their half, I would want a pen for that. I don't think the Reece James things are sending off though, because it was such a little tug. But I do think with the amount of chances that Newcastle missed, because they should have been 3-4 up.
they should have actually buried us in the first half.
They,
They shouldn't even
well,
have
in the
put the.
first half, they were all over us, bro. And I
Yeah.
agree with what you said a minute ago about it's too reactive from Maresca. There's always, oh, he's got to correct a mistake. Why is it we just never win swimmingly in these kind of games? Like I understand what you're getting at, and the preparation is one thing, but the thing is, because this is what made me laugh when everyone was saying about we're in a title race, and I said to JPT, this is exactly the same team we had last year. Bar João Pedro. Why are they going to do any better than what they did last year? It kind of made me wonder. Oh, big up, bro. Rose in the building. Great to see a new host. Less Mexicans is more desirable to my ears. You bitch. Big up, Bar Gav in the building. Hope everyone's well, panel and chat. And DJ Crane's just laughing his ass off. He's probably got to that beer. But positives on the second half of Newcastle. Reece James has he returneth? Is this the Reece James that we all hoped would be back for Chelsea? Because he's had a string of games now. He's played a little bit, and he's stayed fit, and he's made positive impacts, like the Arsenal game and the Newcastle game. One or two games he's dipped, like the Leeds game. He wasn't really in it. But
Yeah,
is this the Reece James of old returneth now in your eyes?
yeah. To be fair, this is the best I've seen Reece James in a while. To be honest with you,
Because this face, he
I
stayed fit a long time now. He's been what? He's
yeah,
been
and
what,
this is where
playing
I'll
now
give
two,
credit
three
to
months.
Maresca for actually managing him well. To be honest, I've always said, to be honest, like even with the managers we had before Maresca, I was like, I feel like his minutes have not been managed properly. I feel like we just kept rushing him back, um, too much. Even Tuchel did it as well. I mean, you can understand because he was very important, but at the same time, it's very refreshing to have a manager that actually cares about the sharpness of the players in
Mm-hmm.
like in an internal and a more long term sense. If you get what I'm saying. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's a
that
good.
pot.
That's a
I suppose the pot you should just run him into the ground.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Even Potter did. To be fair, I think Frank Lampard also did. But you can understand that. But then at the same time, you can argue that they weren't really they didn't really have the depth. So
Look, someone's shouting at him.
sorry, my sister. Sorry about that.
Hello,
Anyways,
JK sister.
I was going to say she's not even in the same room anymore. But yeah,
All right.
anyways. Carrot, what you see now she's throwing me off. What was I gonna say? Oh, for flip's sake.
Well,
Oh god.
no,
What
you were
was I
saying
gonna say?
about Reece James's fitness.
Oh yeah, and I also spoke about over the years we didn't really have the depth. Because we
Yeah.
also lost Aspilicueta at the time. So yeah, I like the way he's been managed, to be honest.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. What do you think the difference was in coming back in that second half of Newcastle, Russ? Because we got a bit lucky with that Newcastle player slipping.
Mm.
Because
The,
I
the,
like João Pedro's goal, but let's be honest, the Newcastle player falls over, and that's the reason why he gets away so easily.
do you know what changed? Do you know what changed in the first half to the second half? I think Maresca played it a bit more simple. When it came on the ball, we were able to control it better. control like the tempo of the game better. We were able to beat their press better.
Hmm.
I think in the first half it was so disorganized, as you said. The midfield, too many people are just like so pushed up. You know what I'm saying? Caicedo was left alone most of the time. Reece James didn't know whether he was overlapping or like going up or just like had to stay back or be a part of the back three. But then you can clearly see in the second half, Cucurella was just told, you know what? Don't allow the inverting a bit. Try dropping to the third centre back every now and then. Try covering the midfield. And from there we start to control the game, create chances. Also Caicedo, him doing his like him dropping back in the defense can help as well. Just in case we lose it, turning over was very, very easy. But then, yeah, at the same time, we create, and also we started to create a lot more chances. If I'm going to be honest with you, so that was a very good
Was
positive
that us
second
getting
half.
better or Newcastle dipping off?
Yeah, that as well. But then also remember, Reece James was actually overlapping a bit more,
Mm.
so Neto was able to come inside a little bit. In some of the it's in let's say the first 50 to 60 minutes. So and as I said, if they overlap, the wingers can play a bit better. They can have more opportunities to like score. We always complain about our wingers not scoring much, but at the same time, what I can give props to, what I can like give leeway to is that they don't really have the chance to be in the box that often. If I'm going to be honest, a lot of the time it's
Well,
just like
no,
on the
they've got two
touchline,
centre backs behind them instead of two wing backs or whatever
and
else.
that's the issue exactly. And Wolfie, they're always hugging the touchline.
Mm.
And if your wingers are bad enough, the wingers are bad enough to be hugging the touchline. It's too much for them to ask. At the same time, there's something that us Chelsea fans need to understand with our players. If our players are not good enough, at least see what their best ability
Well,
is. You know what I'm
you know what,
saying?
another thing that doesn't help as well. When you look at
You go
Garnacho,
on.
if you look at say for Maresca's last couple of starting lineups with say Garnacho on the left and Neto on the right, then the problem
Mm.
with these guys is it's hard for them to all cross off all the time off the weaker foot.
And that's the thing. Do you get what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
also
it
and,
limits our creativity 100%.
and also Wolfie, them two are not really good one on one. Anyways, they're not really the best at one on one. The ones you can really say is only Esteval. Gittins is not really good enough. I don't really rate him. Obviously, I don't rate most of the wingers. I've been rating a bit Neto. The thing I like about Neto is that he's gonna give you that work rate, and that
Yeah,
work rate is very, very key when you have a system. When you have a system like Maresca's, especially a system where you know that you're likely to lose the ball and the opposition's only going to create like mad turnovers because of how, let's say, the system is just so one dimensional. Whereas like you got the fullbacks just like playing as midfielders, it just doesn't make sense. If you
hmm
go, it only works about against. It only works about how many teams in the league? I'd say about 55%. You get the odd big game where he would tweak and change and stop playing that system, and we win it. But at the same time, it's these games that we should be winning because if I'm going to be honest with you, believe it or not, a lot of teams study the way we play. Like a lot
yeah,
of
I
teams
agree
will
with you. A lot
study.
of teams are ready
Like
for us. They're set up
a
for us.
lot
They
of
have
teams are
done.
already they have a system for us. Their managers are good. There's so many times where I see us we lose the games, and then I look at the managers that beat us, and they're talking and they speak. We knew what Chelsea were going to do before the game. How often was this? And this is the thing. How often is that said? And this is not to blame everything on Maresca, but at least there needs to be some sort of accountability, if I'm going to be honest. Because at the same time, this hypothetically, we get world class players. Our spicy names. Our flashy stars into the club. So bear in mind, we bring them in. Do you think? Do you think? Do you think either of them will suit Maresca's system? I said to Deals the other day when we spoke one on one. Imagine what happens if they scrap the model and they bring in world class players. And then what happens is that Hashraf Hakimi comes in and he plays what's it called? He plays him as a DM. Do you know what I'm saying? And then
Mm.
we're going to see him as, oh, this is a flop, this, that, and the other. But at the same time, the
I mean,
manager's
out of
been
position.
misprofiling him. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
out of position. Yeah.
Yeah, and all because you don't and this is the thing. All because of all because you see a team with elite stars, it doesn't mean it doesn't always mean they fit into every manager's system. And that's why and this is where I hear the other argument, as in like sometimes make sure you bring in quality that fits Maresca's system, but not all the time just bring in flashy names. This is one thing, if you know what I'm saying. We're all looking for that big name, but at the same time, it's this like if you're gonna be, and this is the thing, if you're an owner right now of Chelsea Football Club, if you're gonna if you're gonna have a young project manager, if you're gonna have a young project players, if you're gonna be doing this young player model, at least bring in a world class manager that can handle them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That has many ways of playing, that and will at least like adapt, be able to adapt. You know, there's managers that can just come in. Sometimes the players are just not bad. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they're just not all shit. They just need a system that just works for them. I've seen Tuchel come in. Listen, remember how bad we cast our centre backs under Lampard, and bear in mind we had Rudiger. We also had Andreas Christensen.
Christensen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Hazard.
these were classed of one of the worst centre backs in the league. Remember Kurt Zuma as well. But then
Mhm.
when you have a manager like Tuchel coming in, he implements a style, he implements a system that helps them, and therefore you see a massive improvement.
Same
The
thing
thing
with
is
Conte
this,
as well.
and exactly, and you can see it with Conte as well. That same squad that he used, all we had to do was just added. You know what? The players we even brought in weren't flashy names. Marcos Alonso wasn't a flashy name, was he?
Not
He
really.
wasn't a
No.
flashy name. We bought Danny Drink. Danny Drinkwater was, in a sense of, he was an up and coming in a sense because he won the league with Leicester. So it was like a signing with that has credentials, you know what I'm saying? And N'Golo Kante came in as well. So those ones are so Kante actually worked out, if I'm gonna be honest, because he was able to, adapt to many managers. This is me just talking about like what we can do right now. But the thing is right now, us Chelsea fans, we're in like a state of confusion because first and foremost, we haven't really seen Maresca with world class players. Plus, we haven't seen these players with an actual world class manager. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So we really don't know which one is. Does
Yeah,
this
yeah.
manager thrive with that? Does this manager thrive with the best players, or do we really get the best out of this squad to become title challenging if we get a world class manager in? If you get what I'm saying,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
credentials. Because if you look at all the managers that Clearlake have hired, I don't think any young player is going to be looking up at this manager and saying, you know what, I don't see myself winning with this manager. If I'm going to be honest, I know Maresca just did, but Maresca kind of bought something. I don't know where it was. He bought something in these players, but at the same time, if you're talking about league wise, there's always a manager that you look up to rely on, where you're just like, you know what, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you because one great example to that, and that brings us on to our next conversation piece. Strangely enough, is Enzo Maresca himself. Now, building on what you've just said, when you said about if you don't have world class players, you need a world class manager to manage them. The
Mm,
same can be said about something like PSG, for example, with what they've
mm,
just gone through with Luis Enrique, because they've tried restarting their purely French project with just
yes.
younger French players. Because as far as I know, Vitinha's not 25, 26, is he? How
No.
old is he? Is that because
Vitinha
they're a similar project to
Vitinha's
other
younger than that.
players?
He's about 23.
It's like,
John Evans is about 20. He's my age. Or
well, yeah,
I think I'm older than him. I'm 21
because
years
when
old.
you think about it, right? Let's say if we still had Thiago Silva, our squad would be a lot like theirs. Like
Exactly.
in terms of the ages and the
And then
positions.
Wolfie and then you talk about Usman Dembele. Before his like Ballon d'Or spell and everything, before his campaign at PSG last season. Would anyone look at Dembele right now, even Chelsea fans right now? How would you feel back then if you told me Usman Dembele would be a Ballon d'Or winner at your club? The guy supposedly I failed Barcelona. Would you say I failed Barcelona, or what do you call those people, prospect? I feel Barca prospect. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Failed
no, not really.
potential.
They bought him off his Dortmund form,
Yeah, that's the
and
thing. They brought him off his Dortmund form, but then he was
mhm.
supposed to be something even bigger, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, he
But
was
then he
supposed to
also
be
had
a universal talent, but the
exactly,
thing
but
is,
then injuries.
but the thing
But
is
then you
with
saw the
him,
injuries.
he got pushed wide because if you look
Yeah,
at that, Messi was there, and even if you were a central player like how Henri was, you know what I mean, you're still going to get pushed to the left to make space for Messi. So, and
Oh
that's
yeah,
one thing
hundred
about
percent.
Luis Enrique as well. He plays him as a centre forward, not as a winger.
Yeah, that's the thing. But then
So,
at the same time,
because he's like Neto when he goes up front for us in terms of the sense of he knows where to move and stretch the team.
yeah, I get what
You
you're
know what I mean?
saying.
And that's the thing about what I like about Dembele, because now that he's not in the Barcelona system, like you were saying a minute ago about a good player in the wrong system makes him look bad.
Thank you
But
so
is that
much.
on the
That's the thing.
player's fault or is that on the manager? Like, so it goes
And
into
this
what you
is
just said a minute ago.
and this is these are things that Chelsea fans don't want to look forward on when they talk about, let's say, oh, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? Or they will talk about, oh, we've not had any world class players. We haven't bought. Look at all the world class players that were bought today. What's Isaac doing? To listen, remember we spoke about Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
Bring Isaac to Chelsea. This, that, and the other. Bring Jokeres to Chelsea. Bring Jokeres. But then look at them right
Let's
now.
go.
They've been now they found themselves in the exactly Sesko. All of those players they've been put in the wrong system. Xavi Simons right now. Remember we were very close to getting him. But at the same time, I genuinely think these players aren't bad. I just think they're in the wrong
No,
system.
no, no, no. With what you've said is true, right? Because
That's
in
the
terms
thing.
of when you look at the set, right? When you look at what's the thing? The main denominator in what you've just said there. All three of them are strikers. Isaac's had problems at Liverpool because the Liverpool system with the players they got. Let's be honest, it's the Klopp remnants. So they
Mm,
used to, Salah and them lot are used to having a centre forward that does the dog's body work for them. And
yeah.
they don't have to worry about being creative because they're the ones that get to finish. Hence the
Mm,
reason why like Mane and Salah used to get ridiculous numbers because Bobby, for me, they don't have a system necessarily set up to accommodate an Isaac. And the other thing about
100%.
with Liverpool, for example, they lost a lot of creativity in Alexander Trent,
Mm,
which they've tried to recover semi with Soboslai. Not
mm.
quite the same output. Hence the reason why Salah's output is. I think Salah's legs have gone as well, to be fair, because like, yeah, I know that we've never made an official offer for him, JPT, but we were very interested in him. And I'm not being funny. I think if we could have got him for slightly cheaper, we might have bid for him. But the fact that we weren't never going to pay what Spurs paid for him.
Mm.
But no, but it's one of those ones. It's a catch-22. You know what I mean? Because we still did get Estevar Willian, so it's not really
Mm.
like anyone's bothered about that, really, to be honest. Because if anyone would right now would say, "Well, we trade Xavi Simons for Estevar Willian," everyone would go like, "No, no,
No,
we're
but even
cool."
if we got, but Wolfie, even if we got Xavi Simmons, Esteban would be there anyway. So,
Well,
like,
there
if
you
I'm gonna
go.
be honest,
That's why we
uh,
bought him and waited for him because we got more talent like that supposedly on the way as well. Which because
like
the thing
Quenda
is,
and them lot there.
well, we'll have to see because I like the Chelsea squad base is all right, but the problem is like, and we go back to like Maresca is. I don't like the way he sets up his tactical system. I never have. I never like putting centre backs into wing back positions and having them defend out in wide areas where, to be honest, they look useless.
Mm.
Because one thing, and this is the truth about Chelsea, like if you can beat one centre back, you can get straight out a goalkeeper.
And that's the thing. That's a
And
systematic issue.
and the thing, well, if you look at, I think me, you, JPT deals, we all agreed on this. When you look at the Chelsea squad, it was always built for like a 4-5-1 or a 5-3-1 formation. However, we're built for five at the back because when you look at Reece James and Gusto, I think this is what you were mentioning as well earlier about overlaps. If we were using them as traditional wing backs or full backs, Gusto would shine more because he would be out like having space to run into. Reece James gets to do it occasionally because he breaks from like defensive midfield into kind of like into advanced midfield positions where he can like cross or whatever else. Because
Mm.
obviously we like to get him on the ball centrally. Obviously, and that's the one thing as well that made kind of like I kind of like because we haven't done anything about the Arsenal game as well. But that's one thing I have to say. That's when Reece James said to everybody, "I'm back." When he showed Declan Rice and Super Mendy, hey, I could do this on my own, and you guys worry about doing it together. Now, one thing I will say, even in the Arsenal fans like must agree on this one. In that game, because of how much control we had in midfield, you know what I mean? Reece James kind of made them all look basic because they couldn't get close to
Yeah.
it. It was just pinging and he was pinging the ball. It was probably in terms of his like controlling the game, his best performance in that position. in a Chelsea shirt, to be honest, because it was a big game. You only had to. Oh, big up Stepsy as well. Big up, brother. You're doing well.
Steps.
Catch him as well with the watch along with me tomorrow, the Villa one. But yeah, back onto Enzo and what we were saying about the comments this guy's been making. Now,
Yeah.
we touched on it a minute ago, right? About how look at what Luis Enrique has done with that PSG team. Because let's be honest, right? He got the job at PSG roughly about the same time that Enzo Maresca got the same job at Chelsea.
Yeah.
And I'm not being funny. If you look, that's why I always, and JPT will back me out, and I think everybody, I've said this to everybody, that's why I always wanted Luis Enrique over this guy, brother. Because if you look at what he's done in the same time with that PSG team compared to what Enzo Maresca's done at the same time with his Chelsea team, it's levels, bro. It's levels apart for me. It's
just to correct you, Enrique actually joined PSG.
Okay.
No way. Yeah, he joined PSG 23-24. So when we had Poch.
All right, so it's just after. So it was just after, but you can still see there's still worlds of difference, though.
Yeah, you can see.
And I'm not being funny. Does anyone expect? Okay, if Enzo Maresca with this squad was to go into next season, does anyone actually expect him to do any better? Because I don't personally think he will. I think this guy's like doing what Lampard did. I think he's. Oh yeah, JPT it says could have got Enrique, Flick, Nagelsmann, etc. We got Poch and Enzo instead. Well, yeah.
But then Wolfie, this is why you can now say, you know what, this is like, this is the ownership problem. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is where, yes, you can blame Maresca, and I am gonna blame Maresca for some of these games, but then it comes back to my point. The whole issue is still the owners, but what can we do? They're not really smart with the way they've not been smart with the way they've been doing it, and as we said, what you can either do to make this project work, although you've actually made a good point when you said, you know what, you can make the project work, but there's only two things, simple things. You either make sure you get the right manager that can guide young players into the right, meaning they've done it before, and a respectable person in the changing room, then that could work. Or you just bring in a young manager and let him work with ready-made players. Ready-made players that are on his system.
Well, you know what?
You can't do two of the worst.
Was that another one because he was because let's be honest, right? If we could say at the time when Ancelotti was his history, like when his future, was being debated with Real Madrid, there was the rumors about Jose the third coming and all that. Would we better up in going off for one of those two than
probably
Maresca? Because at least with Jose, we'd have learned how to defend. Because he would be like, "What do you run? Do your jobs? Tackle your markers. You know, even if messed about when it comes to that."
And
he would have made them fit a system because what you're saying is make a system where the players can be accommodated for it. And I have to say, for me, Mourinho was an expert at that, and Conte was as well. Well, I don't think Conte ever would have come back to us, to be honest, before he went to Napoli. But Mourinho is definitely that, and Carlo Ancelotti, that's the best. Okay, I know a lot of people say Mourinho, but I think Carlo Ancelotti is the best manager we ever saw. Because if you looked at the football that guy made Chelsea football club, nah, bro, I'm telling you, right. One thing I loved about that Carlo Ancelotti that season, that first season, which was different compared to anyone that beat us when they come to Stamford Bridge, bro, they got absolutely crushed.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Absolutely, if you beat us away 1-0, you're coming to Stamford Bridge and you're losing 6-7-1.
You're holding 5-6-0.
Oh no, it was true. Villa beat us the way they come to Stamford Bridge. They held 8, bro.
Wolfie, wasn't that not the Villa game that we had?
Yeah, that was the Villa game.
The Villa game 8-0.
And Elka scored the volleying thing. Man, that was a mad game, bro. Because when they beat us 1-0 away, and when they come to Stamford Bridge, they held top corn, bro. they held corn.
You know what was? I wanted Fernando. You know the thing is, Wolfie, I wanted a Fernando Torres goal, and I got them. I got 2. So. Yeah, that was the best thing about it. So, because he was. You see
what I mean? Do you remember? Are you old enough? Because I don't know how old you are, Jake, and I don't know if you remember that season when we done the double.
Yeah, I'm 21.
Bro,
Yeah,
Bro, people, I'm telling you, brother, we were what? Who we beat? We lost to Wigan. They held Corn as well. They got
they
beaten
have
like so
corn. Yeah,
when they come. What was the other ones, man? It was like 4 or 5 results, brother. Just teams got absolutely demolished.
did
I
we
mean,
not? It was
we
Newcastle. There was a
destroyed
Newcastle
these
game.
teams,
We
bro.
smashed them up as well
Which
at
one?
home. Was it not the Newcastle game? I forgot that we smashed. They came to our ground and we smashed them.
Yeah, it might have been Newcastle, or it might have been Sunderland.
It was Sunderland. Yeah,
You
Sunderland.
sure that weren't Sunderland? Because I
Or
think they might have
no,
beat us like 2-1 with a
no.
Darren
I
Bent
think
goal.
Sunderland beat us at home. Did they not?
Nah, man, the only team that beat us at home that season was City, and
Oh
they
yeah,
beat
yeah,
us.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
beat us
I'm talking about the
4-1. I
other
remember
season.
Craig Bellamy scored.
Yeah, we battered Sunderland. Yeah, I remember.
That
Yeah,
was the only crap because that was the only crap result. Because other than that, with every other Big Six encounter we had, we won, and that was against that was 2 games against Arsenal, 2 games against obviously Liverpool. We beat them both games. We had 2 games against Man United, beat them both games. Arsenal, that
hmm
was with Drogba. That was prime Drogba, bro. So he was banging
Prime
in goal,
Drogba. Yeah,
half left, right, and centre, man. Great days.
100. Good old days, man.
Good old days, man. The
Proper
good old days.
players. Yeah,
But and that's another thing as well because and this is another thing that made me laugh. Yeah, I'll see a Premier. Was it? They said it was Alan Shearer's top Premier League or top defenders list of all times in the Premier League, and I see that Alan Shearer put Ricardo Carvalho 10th, but he put Virgil van Dijk 6th, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, how did you work that one out when Ricardo Carvalho's got 3 Premier League titles and Van Dijk's got 2?
it's recency bias. That's Sky
No,
Sports. I don't
hang on a
listen to.
minute. Like, and the thing is, what made me
It's
laugh is
recency
right. Ricardo
bias.
Carvalho was not only a hit in England. This guy was a hit in world football. This guy won the
That's the
league
thing. Like, that's the
in
funniest thing.
Portugal. This guy won the league in Spain. This guy won the league in England 3 times. And you're putting Van Dijk, the booty shaker, in front of him. I was like, what? What?
You know what? That's a conversation for another time. But I don't think Van Dijk is better than what we all think. To be
Bro,
fair,
no,
when it
If
comes to
you
the world,
actually look on merit, consider,
when it
consider
comes to the world,
we'll just say the entry level for being the greatest is minimum 3 Premier League titles. Minimum.
but
Van Dijk's
the
not even in the
issue is
top 20, bro.
when they're saying he's better than John Terry. That's the issue, or like that's when you
Bro,
said
but
with Vidic.
John Terry never twerked for the opposition.
That's the thing.
Come on, bro. Like,
But he was
that's
just an
not even
all-round better
serious.
player. Like no matter what, like he's been through the hard times with Chelsea. He's won a lot of our trophies in the decades. Like if I'm gonna be honest, like yeah, John Terry, he's one of my favorites. Like he's the best I
Right.
think centre back ever
Listen,
in the league.
personally,
To be
I
fair.
don't like John Terry as a man, but as a
Oh yeah,
defender,
same. I don't like him as a man.
one thing I like about John Terry, he's the kind of guy, and it's not often you see that, especially he's what you would call a brave defender. He's the kind of guy who would do whatever it takes to make sure if it meant the
Sacrificing.
ball ricocheted off his face or a
Mm.
boot ricocheted off, he would still put his head there. That was the famous
He got
example in the
injured.
Carling Cup
He got
when I
injured
think
doing it.
the
No.
army booted him in his face.
Yeah, he got injured doing it. No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he
Yeah, I
got booted in
remember.
his face by DR. Yeah, of course, bro. I watched that
Yeah.
final live, bro. Yeah, of course. DRB booted him in the
Yeah, the
boat race,
DRB.
and
Yeah,
that pissed Drogba off, and Drogba started that legendary run against Arsenal.
exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Goal number 1. Yeah, and that was it. He was off. It was like they personally offended Drogba from hurting Terry, and like from that day onwards, every time Drogba played against Arsenal, he banged, and that was like bullying
Yeah.
Senderos and all that kind of shit. Do you remember when he bullied Senderos in the
Yeah, I remember.
um, in the Community Shield, bro? That was awful because I'm a defender, I'm a centre back myself, man. When I used to play, so when I was watching, you can tell when a centre back's having a nightmare. You just feel for it because everyone's played against a one player where they just give you an absolute torrid time. And like
Yeah,
I've had
because I'm a centre
bro,
back as well. It's not a nice feeling.
I remember one time
It's not a
when I
nice
was playing
feeling.
in Sunday League, bro. I was playing against this guy called Daniel, bro. This guy was half my size. I thought, yeah, I'm gonna bully it. First thing he does is chip the ball over my head, bro. I'm like, what?
Do you know what it is about Wolfie?
What?
Do you know the worst thing about this is it takes you to get it takes a bit of embarrassment, like a Meg, to just destroy your confidence from this
No,
guy.
no, no. He didn't
You know,
make me. He didn't
try
make me.
try
But he
try
did
be
chip
a
over
right
my head,
back.
bro.
It's worse.
I'm giving that. I'm like,
But
Ross, this is what this you just did.
but Wolfie, try be a right back is worse. Normally I'm actually good standing my ground, but there was this, and it's always the short ones. I'm sorry, it's always the short. They've got this sort. You know what? They've got this sort of physique where you just like they're short, a bit like they've got a bit of like build in them. You know Hazard's body type is always those ones.
Yeah. No,
Them
Hazard had
ones.
belly, bro. That's what Hazard had. He had bare belly. You just couldn't shift him.
No, but
Which is
like
the thing is,
seriously,
he had the
Wolfie.
legs to carry it. Then.
But Wolfie, if you're a defender, normally if you met Hazard for the first time, you'll think he's someone that you can just easily tackle. But it's
Yeah, yeah. He
always them
looks laid
ones
back. That's what it
that
is. Yeah,
have you.
he
It's
looks laid back.
crazy. Like you know, it was like I was defending against someone who was just like Hazard, like a
I didn't
body
realize.
build.
Hang on a minute, JK.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
you,
go
DJ Crane. I just noticed that, man. Flipping it over that forehead must be a Guinness Book World Record. Jesus
on.
Christ.
Lol.
You know what I
You
mean?
know
Like,
what? Yeah,
that's
these man
why
and
I'm
their
out.
humor. You know what? Sometimes I wonder, are these men watching the show or just showing off their humor? I don't know.
Well, a bit of both, you see, because they're
Oh
comfortable
my
with the friends of
days.
mine. That's what it is. That's why they can act like tarts and get away with it.
Yeah, they're
Nah,
doing who has the best humor competition in the chats. These
well,
days,
I
it
don't
just
know. You
feels like
started
that.
to see that for yourself recently, so you tell me. I'm not going to have an opinion. I'm just going to say, fuck Tony. That's all I'm going to say right now.
Say- Yo,
We got
oh
loads of
my days.
LOLs coming out in the comments now. Well, we've got plenty of practical
LOLs.
jokers. Mel's quite funny. Rosie's quite funny. Anthony's
Yeah, they're
quite
all
funny
hilarious to be
on
honest.
distractors. It depends. Both
Man.
JK 2 times. DJ, here you go. Tony's laughing. Screw you, man. You're in the timeout box, man. It's Kai Havertz time for you, bro.
Yep, timeout box for all of them.
You
Listen,
know
all
what
of
I
you
mean?
guys in the comments, timeout,
You know what I mean?
timeout.
You're gonna make my forehead cry. Oh, shut up! I got
That's
her behind
crazy.
again. Oh, shut up! No, no, no. Oh,
What happened now? Did you get
no, no.
tripped?
My missus just took the piss inside behind. You know? Oh, like oh.
Oh, for
This
flip's
is
sake.
this ain't pantomime. This is drama, baby. Anyway,
Big up Miss Wolfie, man. Anyway.
oh fuck her, man. No, shut up. No.
Big up Miss Wolfie. Oh.
Violent. You see that hand come out of nowhere? That was you put that in
Oh,
that
Jesus
Maradona, brother.
Christ. Oh, yeah, I saw. Yeah, that's funny. Any,
I'm not quite funny. I'm a big deal. Right? Okay. This sounds like Rosie straight from Tesco's.
ooh,
Big up, Miss
scary.
Wolfie, says JPT. All right. Right. But yeah, back on Enzo's comment. We kind of got sidetracked there.
Yeah, we
Um,
did so.
but Enzo's comments. Yeah. He said when we lost the Leeds game. He said he come out with
No,
that was the most toughest 48 hours as
oh,
Chelsea.
when we beat Everton.
Yeah, sorry, excuse me. When we
It
beat
was when we
Everton,
beat
then we got
Everton,
smashed
yeah.
by Leeds. Yeah, then
Yeah.
we drew with Newcastle. So, like Enzo Maresca, I might as well just ask you straight. What the fuck? What's going through this guy's head?
You know what? Yeah. I feel for him and I kind of don't. I feel for him in the sense. No, listen.
I feel for him, but I kind of thought, all right. Why do you
I
feel
feel,
for him? Then I'll ask you why you don't.
first and foremost, at the end of the day, yeah, the owners didn't back him. I can always say that. At the end of the day, we do need the centre back. I think even
Yeah, I
someone
agree on
who
that.
we really do need a centre back, and he's right about that. I genuinely do think the quality of centre backs we need is very key, and I think that's what can actually help Maresca. I think moving forward when it comes to implementing his style. So I hear him on that. He asked for a centre back, and we didn't give it to him. And yeah, again, that's the board's issue. And man, and we're going to be going through this again and again and again and again. But at the end of the day, he's right on that. And at the same time, I will say this to any manager that comes here: if you, the owners do a thing before they hire you, they tell you what you're going to be getting into. You probably know that the backing will be limited. Sometimes you get backed in some positions, sometimes you won't. It's just depending on the day, depending on the situation. At the end of the day, you at least know the terms and conditions. There's a reason why when you enter a job, they tell you to read a sheet of paper. They tell you to say, you know what, listen, read the terms and conditions. If they don't agree, this, that, and the other,
It's
make sure you
FIFA
agree.
settings, like we get season expectations.
Exactly, season expectations, exactly. And you know the sort of, you know their model, you know the sort of the project that they're doing. He probably knew that the young players will be coming in here and he has to develop them. At the same time, if you knew all of this, you could just say no, like every other manager. I think as well, although they're trying to look for Glasner, I don't know if you've heard the news. Glasner's actually not renewing his contract. And there was a speculation before talking about Chelsea telling him to wait because he was going to renew. Because ever since Maresca said those quotes, he did say those quotes.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, ever since Maresca said those quotes, you can clearly see the blood. I think the tension between him and the board have just been really. If you get what I'm saying, you can just see that he's kind of losing. He's really losing the board. Like I really think there's a big divide between the manager and the hierarchy. And you can just see with his comments, if I'm going to be
Yeah,
honest with
it's
you.
starting to fracture. It's like what happened
Yeah,
with Pop. It's starting to
and
fracture now.
and it's starting to fracture. It's the same thing that's happening with Poch. And I said this, Wolfie. I'm going to keep saying this also. Depending on what these owners do, Maresca walking will be doomed. If Maresca walks, will be doomed. Because there's one thing. There's only two things that they can do. They'll either hire a better manager than him, but at the same time, knowing these board and owners, they're not really gonna hire anyone better. They're gonna be
What
we're
would
gonna
you
be
take
going for
Glasner?
someone.
On what
Huh?
JPP just said, would you take Glasner?
Is for me it's Glasnow or nothing.
Glasner and
And at
Gee.
the same
I
time,
don't think. You
I'm
know
worried.
what? I don't think Gee's going to go to Real Madrid.
Glasnow is Glasnow or nothing. Wolfie, the reason why, if Glasnow comes here, I've got a feeling this guy will say no to this project. He will say no to this project, and I'm gonna tell you this year, a lot of teams want Glasnow as well.
Mm,
And
true.
even if you look at even look at the recent drama we had with Semenyo. Semenyo, he was willing to talk to us. I think we inquired, and then I think what the board wanted to do is to speak to him. And then what happened? We had a certain. I think the deal just went. It just fell through. And
Mm.
even when it comes to just getting stuff we need at the moment, you really just can't get excited anymore because you're just worried that you know what. Is he just going
He also
to
said
is he going to is he going to buy what the owners want, or is he just going to buy what the owners are selling to him, or they're not? And a lot of them are just going to say no. I don't think Semenyo looked at this and said, you know what? Because if you look at the
do
rumors
we
now, they
need him?
were
I don't
saying
really think Semenyo is who we need. To be honest, like
he's
that's not when I look at
do
our
you know
problems.
what
He's not.
it's but Wolfie, you know why is he at the moment he's not? It's because they've already bought Ganacho and Gittins. There's no point. If I'm
Mm,
gonna be honest, which just makes the signings pointless if you're looking for Semenyo. It just doesn't make sense. And
uh,
again, the incompetence of the board, again
mm.
and again and again. Whether you can say, you know what, the owners are telling them to do this, but at the same time, yeah, it's a big mess from the club.
What about what JPT just said? What about Cesc? Because he's been cutting his bones recently. He's managerial bones, but isn't that he's like he's a risk though. He's like a similar
Another
risk to
risk.
what
He's another
Maresca was.
rookie. This is the
Mm.
problem. This squad, this squad should not have a rookie manager. That's my point. They should not have a rookie manager. The thing is, the reason why I like Glasner because I don't think for me I don't think Glasner's a rookie, and when you look at the style of play, he clearly suits the way we play. The centre backs we need, the centre backs we have now need to be playing in the back three. The reason is because a lot of them can't be consistent working together as a partner, especially when they're just left alone and the fullbacks are just like inverting. If I'm going to be honest with you, I just think, I just think they just need to be in a compact sort of defensive like
Yeah,
setup,
a system built for them, and
a
actually
system built
help
for them.
protect them.
Yeah, I think Glasner's more tactical for me. That's the reason why I want him in a tactical manner. And even if you look at the wing backs, he inverts his wing backs. A lot of our wing backs are very good at overloading, and that's where they got their name from. Gusto was one of the top overlappers before Maresca came in. If I'm going to be honest with you, this Gusto on the porch was
Yeah, when
very
Poch
very
was
good.
using him as an out and out fullback,
Yeah,
sort of like
yeah.
he was
This
coming up and down the
Gusto on
right.
the porch was very good. We were even talking about, do we really need Reece
Reece
James?
James
I'm
back. Yeah,
telling you,
exactly.
yeah, because he was overlapping. And then the thing is, we brought in a manager that inverts instead. Now Gusto just looks bad. Like Wolfie, look when we lost to Atalanta. Literally, when we lost to Atalanta, do you realize we had a midfield full of
Right back.
full of right backs and left backs? You know that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to tell me this is not a manager issue. People are trying to say, "Oh, this is not Maresca's fault. This, that, and the other." And I
No, he
say,
picked the
"I'm
team.
sorry." He takes the blame exactly, and then you got it. It doesn't make any sense. The thing is this. I remember when we spoke about Ancelotti is the Conte is this, that, and the other. What people need to understand is like a lot of these managers, they just let you do the basics. Just do the basics right, and then you just tweak it with some style. Hence why the one touch triangle football. You know what I'm saying? Also, when you got a squad like ours, a lot of the attackers need to be free.
Mm-hmm.
They, and I think with the attackers we have right now, there's too much overcomplication. First and foremost, we don't know what João Pedro is doing. First, is he getting told to come deep, or is he getting told to be a target man? He himself doesn't know. That's the thing. So when you have a manager like Glasner who allows his attack to be free, there's no certain instruction. The only instruction he allows when attacking, you know what, is it is the fullbacks have to overlap to create, that sort of support for the wingers,
Would
so
you
they can
take
come
Mateta
inside
with
and do what they
Glasner
want.
as well?
Hmm?
If we could get Glasner to come to us, do you think he could attract someone like Mateta?
I don't think so. I wouldn't think we need. I don't think we need that Mateta at the moment. To be fair.
Really?
And
Because he would be an out and out nine compared to the ones we got.
But then realistically, he's not going to come in. That's the problem. He's really not. He's not going to come. Maybe he can, but at the same time, he will do well. He will do well. He will do well under the system, to be honest. And I also think Glasner's coming to like a better team. In a sense of Cole Palmer, he's always been his best. At his best under Poch. Poch just let him do what he wants. This is the thing. You don't give Cole Palmer tactical instruction or to overlap this, that, and the other, or to someone's inverting, let him stay hug the touchline. It doesn't make sense, if I'm going to be honest with you. So I think with the attackers we have, they just need to be free.
Hmm.
And they need to be free. They
Well,
don't
hold
thrive
on.
under tactical instruction. Too much instruction is what's gonna kill
Big up,
is
deals.
what's gonna is
Big
what's
up,
killing
big
the
up,
attack
big
at the
up.
moment. Big up
Can
deals.
you
What are
hear
you
me?
telling me, bro?
Can you
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
me?
we
Can you hear
can.
me? Wait,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
let me check.
yeah, go on. Yeah, we were discussing. Yeah, we were discussing a lot of stuff. By the way, I don't know what I don't know. If, I don't know where to start from. We spoke about Maresca. We
You
spoke
say we
about
got about an hour,
yeah.
nearly.
Listen, it's been a long. Listen, where do you want to start? There's Maresca. We spoke a bit about the hierarchy and how they should be just moving.
Well, I know Deals just
Like
wanted to talk about Enzo in his comments as well, so
I
let him
want,
have his
I
piece
want
on
to,
that.
yeah.
I want to have a talk about Maresca and some of the players that we brought in.
Oh yeah, yeah, go on.
I feel like big up Wolfie, big up JK. I hope you had a good Christmas as well.
Yeah, hope you had a good
A good
Christmas, deals, bro.
and a good Boxing Day as well. Hope you had a good day with the family. You know what I mean? Big got the missus as well, Wolfie. I know you got a missus. Big up
Oh
the
man,
missus
no
as
man,
well.
she's been bullying me. She's been no,
Yeah,
no more
I can't lie.
your
She's been bullying Wolfie the whole stream.
yeah, man.
Go back
Yeah,
and watch it. You will laugh your head off.
domestic
Oh, for
violence
God's
on
sake.
screen, bro. Like
Big
women told me
big up
that stuff.
Oh
big up
God.
JK as well. Big up the missus as well, JK. I know you got a missus as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flipping, yeah, man. We're gonna talk about Chelsea now. Listen,
Well, God,
I,
man,
I've
have your piece.
I thought that we was better than we are. JK
I'll
knows
be right
that
back.
of recently I've been saying that Chelsea's in a title race. And obviously once again, December time we drop off points against who is it? Leeds. We dropped
Yeah,
off to
Leeds.
Leeds and then we dropped off to Atlanta and then we dropped off another 3 points to Newcastle.
Mm,
The first half we got absolutely scored. Um,
yeah.
Maresca should have had a game plan going into that game, but then what he normally does is like JK said, he realizes, oh shit, they're playing they're attacking us. They're attacking us. So the second
Mm,
half, he changes it. Right. The
mm,
second half, we actually came out a different team. Why is that? The fact that every time that this is happening, that we're coming out in one good halves, it's coming
agree.
like there's a problem. There's a problem.
Yeah.
There's a mentality shift somewhere in these players because we didn't really see this at the start of the season. But again, at the same time, it is a long season. We got to look into every game, every detail. Do you know what I mean? It's not one game we be good and then next minute we be shit. Do you know what I mean? Like with
100.
this Chelsea team, it is not ready for what I think I just said before the Leeds game and before the Atlanta game is to go and win the title because
Mm,
a Chelsea team that goes in to Leeds away, they go win the title. Do you know what I mean?
100.
And the occasion as well, going to Leeds, isn't somebody that you can just go up there and rock up and you know what I mean. Leeds will pull up a fight because they're battling for something too. Do you know what I mean?
100.
Do you know what I'm saying, JK? So
100%. Yeah.
I think there's certain things in the mentality shift as well. I think some of these players, 1 minute they're good, and then 1 minute they will turn up as like they did against Leeds and Atlanta. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that is all down to the mentality. What is Maresca actually telling these players? And this is another thing I've
Mm,
noticed that whenever we concede, it feels like there's no way back. Do you know what I mean,
mm.
JK? There's no way back to
Yeah, I
winning
get
the
what you're
game.
saying.
There's no
Literally.
audacity. There's no audacity. And I think the other day as well, Newcastle were there for the taking. We should have won that game. We should have won that game. But do you know
Yeah.
why? Do you know why we didn't win that game? Because they wanted to
Mm,
draw that game. And like you said, JK, you can tell when we're gonna win a game, and you can tell when we're gonna drop. Do you know what I mean?
exactly.
It's very obvious.
You
It's
feel it in the
very obvious.
first 5 minutes.
Yes,
That's the
exactly.
problem.
Exactly. And not even the fact that he can't even blame injuries, JK. Like there's not much injuries that we've had. Do you know what I mean
Yeah.
this season? What you gonna tell me? What Lavia is the only reason why we've been in? You know what I'm saying? There's no reason to blame injuries. It's man management skills and some
Hmm.
of the players that ain't very good enough to be at Chelsea Football Club.
I
Let's
agree.
be real. Do you know what I mean? Did he get a back in the transfer window? No. But
Exactly.
again,
He didn't get backed as well.
but at the same time, JK, like
Mm,
Tay was saying to me the other day, one of my Chelsea friends, he said to me that even if he did get backed, do you know what I mean? What's the difference? Do you know what I mean? What's the difference?
100.
Like 100, like even if he did get backed, would we still be dropping points? Yes,
Mm.
because of his in-game management.
And
His
that's the
in-game,
issue.
yeah, his in-game management is not there yet. Do you know what I mean?
I don't
It's a
think Enzo
problem.
Maresca's ever had his in-game management, to be honest, lads.
I mean,
Not
there's
from
Oh, you
what
games
I've
where
think
he's
seen of
had
it.
it, Wolfie, if I'm going to be honest with you.
he's
There are
had it
games
for the
where he
big
has had
games?
it. Yeah,
He's
No,
had it
for
for
the
the
big
big
games.
games.
true, but one thing about it is, right, you don't necessarily have to beat the big teams to win the league, bro. Yeah, as long as because that's the thing. People used to say, all right, that used to be Arsenal's problem. They could smack up the little teams, but never the big teams. But
Mm.
you know what I mean? Like, look at Sunderland. Look at the Sunderland result, bro. They made us look so average.
Wolfie,
Yeah.
All
you know
over
we're on
the
level.
pitch, bro. They were working harder than us.
I
They look more
Wolfie, you know we're on
motivated
level
than us.
points. You know we're
They
on
look
level
more
points
hungry
with
than us.
United. You know we're on level points with shitty United, bro. That is a madness, bro. How we level on points with United and United ain't even that good, bro.
I
They're
know.
not even that good. They're not
What is
that
that?
good, bro. I watched them.
That's
I watched
Ray
them
Neville,
today.
bro.
I watched them
Sorry.
today, and he wasn't even that good. What saying drinking the Ray and nephews?
Yeah, of
Drinking the
course.
Ray.
Wolfie
Bro,
getting
I
distracted.
can't drink.
Listen, put the Ray nephews down, my guy. Yeah, before you get
Uh,
drunk.
Hey, bro,
Literally.
I tell you what, yeah, it's Christmas, sucker. All right, I'm not like I don't do this any other time. Right, so like
Have the drink,
it's
man.
my time to
You
drink.
deserve it, man. You deserve it. How was your year though, Wolfie?
What
Was it
generally? It
actually?
was a very
Yeah,
hard year, bro. If you've ever heard the Biggie tune, "Everyday Struggle,"
yeah.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what my life's been like over the last year, bro. I don't want to live
Yeah.
no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door, and every day like a
My
hustle,
year's
another
been my
struggle,
year's
another
been
day,
my
another
year's been
struggle.
okay. It's been okay, but obviously in this year I've moved houses in it, so
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
it's
man.
settlement again. Do you know what I mean? So
How's that going? How's that going?
no, everything's good, man. Everything's blessed. I can't complain. Do you know what I mean?
That's
I
good.
can't
That's good,
complain.
brother.
And no matter
Do you know?
how bad things I got, I've always had my missus behind me, so it's not been that bad.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good, man. That's good. So at least he's got someone behind
All
you.
right,
Do
I
you
was
know what
just
I mean?
making sure, like, just in case I had to duck a punch. Sorry,
Yeah,
Yo,
man.
AK knows what I'm talking about. Don't worry.
yeah, what's the
Nation,
thing? Like that was hilarious. Oh gosh.
Wolfie, and Wolfie. Like again, at the same time, like with being like single, obviously, it's like you got your own time and being what you want like to do and
Oh yeah,
stuff. Like
100.
like when you're not single, it's like you got other people to look after, fam. You get it?
Yeah,
Like
well, if you're in a real relationship, and I consider myself in a real relationship, brother, it goes both ways, man. They look after you, you
yeah,
look after them. It's just a matter of necessity. If you have got a cold and you're not feeling well, Kate would be the first person to say, "Do you want a cup of tea?" If Kate's not feeling well, I would be the first person to turn around and say to Kate, "Kate, do you need a cup of tea?" If Kate gets
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
it's about reciprocation, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Like
exactly,
it
bro.
comes from
You
both
know what it
sides.
is, yeah, deals. As long as you don't take the offer for granted, and you've always got that respect. Right, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool because that's the thing. A lot of relationships nowadays lack, bro. They lack respect. They lack companion.
yeah.
And what I mean by that is not why. This is why that term situationship always makes me laugh because what a real relationship is companionship. And if you
Do
don't
you think
have that,
social
you don't have a real relationship.
Wolfie? Do you think social media ruins relationships nowadays? Yeah,
No,
like
not really, bro. Because no offense, yeah, I've seen a lot on social media, but I can honestly say I've not seen a single thing on social media that I've experienced in real life.
mm,
So, like, you know what I mean? Like, watching social media, particularly some things on, like, on Facebook and all that, it's all programmed to breed hate, bro. Because no
yeah,
offense, good news never makes news. And no offense, the only way you can truly engage people nowadays is if you bring up controversial topics. So, like,
mm.
no offense, but why is it that racism is a bigger issue now than what it was 30 years ago? Why is it that immigration is still a problem? These are the same things that people have been talking about for the last 200-300 years. So it's
Yeah,
just like, it's one big
but
circle, bro. That's all it is. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and maybe that's because I'm the older one. Because I know you man's are young compared to me. I'm like 40. So it's
yeah.
like,
You're only
I've seen all this crap, bro. Right?
you're on a couple of years above me
Right.
still. I'm
I tell you what,
27.
let me drop something down to you, right? Which
Yeah,
is kind of different to my era to yours, right? You said because social media is kind of destroyed this, but back in the day, we had programs like Gladiators, Crystal Maze, all that kind of thing that showed normal people doing good things.
yeah.
When you saw like a person who won Gladiators 3 years in a row, they did hardcore training for hardcore physical. If you don't, bro, I don't know if you've ever watched the original British Gladiators and the event called the Eliminator. I would never be
I've
able to do
seen. I
that,
only
bro.
just seen one.
Yeah, I've
Bro,
seen.
but by
Yeah.
the hand back at the end, I'd be like, "Oh shit, my wanking arm's giving up." Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, jokes aside, it was hardcore training, and you used to see these average people that were postmen or whatever else that used to give them a life, brother. It used to give them like motivation, and it brought their skill set on to level to level to level.
Do you know what
And
it
this is
is,
what I
Wolfie?
don't
Though.
get. You don't see that improvement anymore. You don't see. This is why footballers are shit. Why do you think every other top Donny striker from 20 years ago says, I would love to play in this era because defenders can't defend?
Mm, mm.
So that's because they teach defenders to be runners, not defenders. That's the problem. This is why what me and JK were talking about before deals dropped on the stream about having a tactical manager that is aware of our weaknesses like a Tuchel and knows how to patch them up to a degree.
What do you
Enzo
think?
doesn't have that
Exactly.
tactical awareness.
Do you think? What do you think? Do you think there's a lot of things that he needs to improve to be a top manager?
Deals, right? Right. What? No, I do think he can improve with the team he's got, but they need to be coached. There's
Yeah,
a difference between coaching footballers and coaching tactics. Now you can coach tactics because this is why you get the man management side of football. Like this is why I said a minute ago before you came on about maybe the Contes or the Tuchels or the Mourinhos. Maybe sometimes the football might have been ugly under them, but it was effective. When you think about Conte and you think about Tuchel and you think about Jose, the first thing you think about is how good we were defensively and how hard it was to break us down. Let's be honest, bro. This is the thing about Chelsea, what made our name really. Because if you think about it, when we were in our heyday, we weren't known for fast-flowing attacking football. We were known for being hard to beat, bro. Listen to what
Wolfie.
And
Do,
Andy Cole said on the overlap recently.
and
We
Wolfie, we were
hated
just
playing them because
known.
we couldn't beat them.
And Wolfie,
do
we
you
were
think
just
Maresca
known
only
for.
knows one thing? There's one thing.
Um,
Do you think Maresca only knows one thing and one way only? play that style,
I,
or not,
I
or
think
not.
I think what the problem with his style is, and this is why it gets the comparison to Pep's and Klopp's, is it's very pressure related.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
you need to do is like you need to play 100% of your game, so you put the opposition under in complete intensity, so you break them down.
Mm.
The best way I could describe it is it's like a knockout artist compared to a counter puncher. When you're trying to play like a Maresca style of football, you're trying to physically overpower your team, the opposition team, just like Klopp would or a Pep does with the tick attacker.
yeah,
Right?
but
You
Klopp
play
and
so
Pep
good
don't.
that you can beat them.
Klopp or Pep don't put Gusto in a 10. That's the difference.
Well, no,
Or
he did.
like,
Don't forget that Trent Alexander-Arnold used to invert under Klopp.
yeah, but
So
not into the
like
Because
he
10.
did
that's
put.
Not in
but
the
Trent
10,
is
bro.
naturally a creator, and he's well suited. And if I'm gonna be honest, he has midfielder traits anyway. So if I'm gonna be honest, they were playing to his strengths. I think my issue is this, and I think you made this point as well. We were made. Listen, we got our name off of just the way we play football. It's just doing the basics right and just
Mm,
winning off of it, and that's just how it's supposed to be.
being
If
well
I'm gonna be
structured,
honest.
being
You're
well
being
structured.
well structured, and that's just all what a team needs sometimes. No
Bro,
matter
that was the
how
thing.
much,
Any good defensive
no,
team, bro, you look at history
exactly.
because
No
they've been
matter
so
how much the
great and
quality,
structured, bro.
exactly. And I'll compare it to this. That Champions League team that we won, the second one, that had no right to win the Champions League. Just look at the squad.
No, but used to the
Before
yourself,
anything,
Tuchel put them together in a way which made them hard to. And we were
but it was
lucky
the
we had good
manager.
players, bro. Andres Christensen came on that day for Thiago Silva, and it just
Yeah,
happened to be that Christensen had kind of the similar thing what happened to John Obi Mikel in the 2012 final. He arguably had his best game for us. Full stop.
exactly. And also, if you look at the experience there was Thiago Silva, Spilicueta there as well. But at the
We
same
got rid of
time,
Ashley
this
way too early, bro. We got
brother
rid of that
Wolfie,
guy way
I,
too early. If
exactly,
we
we
kept Thiago
exactly that's
Silva
the thing.
at 38, bro, I don't see why we shouldn't have kept that guy. Because one thing about it is, right, that one, I know not many people, this is my unpopular opinion to get, but arguably, yeah, he was as great a defender one-on-one as Terry was. Maybe even
Wolf,
slightly better, considering he had to do
Wolfie,
it with pace and against wingers. Like, not a,
son.
bro, like,
Wolfie,
I tell you what,
Wolfie and
him and,
JK,
him
do
and
you think
Ivanovic, it's either them best right back we ever had.
Wolfie and
Aspilicueta is
JK,
your
do you?
traditional right back. Like he's just so. How should I say it? This is why I really, really like him. Like
And he
he's
could
just,
cross, bro. He could
bro.
cross.
Listen, he's an absolute shithouse as well as
Yeah,
like
he was.
technical.
Yeah,
Because, bro,
shit
he's just
down,
your
shit down.
traditional right back. He's that right back you just need in the team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
right.
seriously,
But
just
Wolfie and JK, as much as we got James and Cucurella and Farmer and Esteval, yeah,
mhm,
and who else is there? Yeah, we got some players that are good, but again, is it
mhm.
enough? Is it enough to challenge? No, it
No,
isn't,
no, 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 no.
because
It's
But all
not.
we're doing is, yeah, but we know that already, deals because this is virtually the same squad by João Pedro than it was last season. Don't get me wrong, the
yeah,
lap, let's be honest. Actually, correction. Add João Pedro, take away Jackson, it's the same team.
yeah. But if you notice with the lap, yeah, he doesn't play his back to goal, where
No, that's
Jackson didn't.
with the lap. One thing about it is, right, it's a this is the one thing about with our number 10 or number 9, I should say, excuse me, not 10, is we need a battering ram of a centre forward. When you look at all the centre forwards that have been good in these sort of systems, the Diego Costas, the Didier Drogba, even Giroud to a degree, they have that physical. They could muscle in on a centre back. Like Jackson never really had that, but he did have movement. Not quite the
Yeah,
finishing. If he worked on his finishing a little bit more, he would have been actually quite a dangerous player. But we've never had that sort of physical type. You know what? Yeah, I know my missus is gonna hate me for this, but if you want to get a physical type of player, that'll be cheap soon.
Very soon.
Yeah, very soon. She knows what I'm going about to mention. Grab Seb Larsson from Wolves. That guy, he's a shithouse of a player too, and good with balls on
yeah,
his feet, and he can use his head, and he'll
I
be in the
actually
sort
like
of
him.
that category of what the board would buy too. And I'm not being funny. He'd be a good alternative to a Lap or
Or
a
Evan
João Pedro.
Nelson.
Pardon?
Evan Nelson.
Van Nelson.
Evan Nilsson, actually, I like him from Bournemouth. I actually knew about Evan Nilsson for a couple of years ago. I signed him on my FM 2023 for anyone who plays Football Manager. I like that guy. He's actually a good player as well. There's Mateta as well, Crystal Palace. There's strikers there to buy. Because one thing about it made me laugh, kind of the influx of foreign strikers have been the big disappointment. You know what I mean? I know we mentioned Isaac earlier, but when you look at the Gilchrist and the Sescos or the Ciscos, whoever you want to call, these guys have not
Wolfie,
really
what
done
type of
it.
what type striker is Delap? Is he a back three type of striker, or is he a formation that we play now type
What do
of
you mean, like a
striker,
pressing
Wolfie?
forward or a target man?
Delap
A
is
target
raw.
man.
I don't think he's good enough to be a. I don't think he's good enough to be a target man. I think use him like a
Wolfie, he's
pressing
raw.
forward.
Delap
Yeah.
is
No, I
raw.
don't think he's got the intelligence as a proper like target man, because you need to learn positioning and have the know-how. He's not quite learned that yet. He's gonna have to learn. I think, to be honest, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if long-term Delac gets loaned out. Big up Aces.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Big up, brother. I
That's
hope
the
you're
thing.
welcome. Merry Christmas.
But then, Wolfie. At the same time, if I'm gonna be honest, there's some strikers that are just raw. If I'm gonna be honest, and
Mhm.
that's Delap. I don't think he's had enough experience playing at the top level yet. And when I mean top
Yeah,
level, I'm
man,
not
he's
just
young,
saying
man.
like a big six. When I'm not just saying like a big six, the top level can be the Premier League. Playing for Bournemouth, this, that, and the other. He only just started playing Premier League football last season, so I'm not really surprised from what I'm seeing from him. If I'm good,
No, the thing
so
is, no, this is the difference, because this is the difference between building quality and having natural quality. Because the same can be said about Conceição, but we all saw glimpses of what Conceição could do. Now the team around him has improved. He's kind of got himself a little bit of props. But one thing with the lap is you can see the quality's not there yet. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
and
It's
that's the
not like
thing.
if
That's my point.
you give him a chance, he won't score. Yeah, there's still that if question about him. You know what I mean? Because when did he get
I
sent
think
off?
under
Look, when
the
he got sent off, when he made his
I
debut,
think
that was just stupid.
I think under the right manager he would fit in. So maybe he don't fit Maresca's style. Maybe.
Well,
And
I
that's the
don't.
thing.
Well, in a minute, the jury for me is still out under that, because he's been injured, he's been suspended. Maybe in the second half of the season we can see what he has to offer if he can keep himself out of trouble. But he's talented, so you know what I mean. Like, you can see the ability, like, to be a shithouse player is there, as JK meant, and we need that kind of player that will rock a back four, get under someone's skin.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
like,
Because we haven't had that. We haven't had that, like you said, Wolfie, since Diego
and
Costa.
I'm not being funny. We need it if we're gonna just play one guy up front. So
Yeah,
it's kind of a given. Like, and Deal said as well, a guy that can play with his back for goal, someone that can be a link man and like bring other people into play, because that's the one thing about it. Because when you look at João Pedro, for example, he's that kind of guy. He's more comparable to Roberto Firmino from Liverpool than
Wolfie, do you think a proper manager would identify what his strengths and weaknesses are in the squad?
Do I believe there's managers out there will do tactically better than Enzo Maresca? Yeah, of course there is, but they're not going to be here for the foreseeable future right now. Maybe at the end of the season we might have a discussion again. But it's the same thing when people used to ask me if I was Enzo in or Enzo out. What difference does it make? I don't have it. What if I say out? Is he going to get kicked out? No. So all I can do is wish him the best and hope he makes the right decisions for the sake of my football club. You know what I mean?
What do you make of the whole talk of him in the press conference, Wolfie, and
Well,
him
this is what
kicking
me
off?
and JK were getting. I think it's strange, but I think it just leads on to another thing I think
you know
JK
what?
pointed out when he says about a
Yeah,
lack of quality signings.
do you know what?
Because
I
I'm
can
not
hear
being funny.
both
If you're
sides.
Enzo
Like,
Maresca and you've seen like 100, 200 million pound midfielders come through the door, then the next thing, oh, you're going to get João Pedro. We're going to give you Estevan Willian, who's like 18, and you're kind
Yeah,
of thinking,
but he knew what he was walking into, though. He definitely
oh
knew
yeah,
what
and
exactly,
he
he
was
said he's
Jules.
walking in.
happy with the squad as well. He's
He
happy with the
definitely
squad.
knew what he was walking
And this is
into.
the
He
funniest
definitely
thing.
knew.
Like, but deal with, and this is the funniest thing is like when you look at the press conference, you can hear him, but you just kind of don't. So it's like it's just
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
yeah,
level. It's
yeah.
like a level-headed thing.
We'll get
Like,
onto that.
you know what I where I sympathize for him for is just like I can understand. You know what? The quality of the squad, he can still get backed. Like he still needs to get back with some quality centre backs. I think the centre backs for his system, they're not good enough. I just think this is where I come and say this. Chelsea fans are in a predicament where they don't listen. You look at the owners and you look at the hierarchy. There are kind of two things they can do to tweak this sort of model to make it successful. One, bring in young players with a manager that can set them up systematic wise. you know, and also, you know, just a world class manager that they can look up to,
Yeah.
and a manager can just say,
I want-
when the management is better, game management is better. There's a
mm.
system. There's a system just for them to like thrive. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to be the best, but actually, but the thing is, there's managers that can just make players world class. And if I'm going to be honest,
Yeah,
I
you
gave you
like
the
to kind of
example.
better, like
Yeah,
George just said.
I gave you the example, Rudiger. You know what I'm saying? Rudiger before Tuchel came in, I remember people were talking about him being Chelsea's worst ever centre back. I remember, but then sometimes it just takes you. It takes that manager to make you become quality. I believe
Yes,
this is where I'm going to say something mad. I believe if I'm
you can fly.
listen, if a world class manager comes into this team right now, there could be a chance where some of these players that were saying we're shit, are shit. They could become the players that we never thought they could become. All because of the management of all because of the way this player has been managed. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. Either get a world class manager to help develop these, you know, these young players, or don't, or what you do, bring in a young manager and give him all the world class players he needs. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Give him the
the
world class.
cheapest
You
solution
know,
would be to get
I
a better
mean,
manager.
to be specific, no, Simon, or shall I say Wolfie? Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Don't call me baby.
Oh, no, no, Wolfie, to be specific. Yeah. Yeah.
I got many
Yo,
names,
to be,
depending whether you like me or not.
yo, yeah, you know, I never really call you that.
Why for
That's
that?
the funniest thing.
Pause,
Yo,
pause,
do
pause, 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 pause.
oh, crap. Do you know the funniest thing is, yeah, is either you bring in players that will suit the manager system, but also will bring quality. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna bring in a rookie manager, because
Hang on.
there's only
Then
so
when
much
I do
rookie manager.
on that note quickly, hang on.
Yeah,
On that note,
yeah.
Hey, deal. Did you take Glasnost?
Yeah and no. There's a yeah and
Oh,
no with this
what
one.
do you mean? Yeah, no.
No,
Yes or
no,
no?
Let me explain, innit?
I like
It's fine.
Glasnost. I like Glasnost a lot. But my only problem with him, yeah, is that when that back three player style gets found out, this is my problem with Glasnost. Still, like I watched him against a couple of teams now, and I watched him against Leeds, and they were terrible against Leeds. They lost to Leeds away, but at home they're a very good team. Palace, they're a very good team. Would he change his back three at Chelsea? Possibly because there's better players at Chelsea. So he may not even play a back three at Chelsea. He may change to a back four. So I would definitely put my eye on Glasgow 100%. That's if we're gonna try and get a Liam Rosner or a the Brighton manager or Ariola. I think Glasnow's better than all them 300%. But
He's
if you're telling
achievable.
me if you're telling me that you're gonna get me a top manager and that's available right now, you go get me Xavi Hernandez or um go get me a Carlo Ancelotti out from Brazil. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I said that. We should have got, bro. We should have got him before he went Brazil. Like that was
Yeah,
fabulous.
yeah,
He would have been
yeah.
perfect for this team, I think.
We
And
need a.
we could have gone in Zagi.
Would you take Roberto Mancini, Wolfie? Or do you
You
think
know
he's
what,
past it?
Mancini? I like Mancini because he knows how to make a team winners, bro. Because this guy's won league titles here and in Italy. Like
Yeah,
he's coached the national team. Wasn't he their manager when they won the World Cup? Or was that
Euros, yeah,
Yeah.
Euros, yeah,
was it the
Euros.
Euros? Yeah. So he's a been there, done it manager. Like I respect Mancini as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
like him. Like you know what I mean? He's one of those managers that don't take no bullshit. Like
yes, that's
And
another.
also,
That's another.
I also like Asperini. I like him. I like him as well.
yeah, Asperini's all right,
Oh,
but
really?
like I said, given the choice between any manager, I'd still take Enrique because, and I'm not being funny. Exactly the reason why I would have taken him is right. You can see in PSG's football because I'm not being funny. They're only in a year deep into what we are in terms of a project, and look how improved they are. Because people said that, and this is the thing, because PG, and this is the thing why I want to give credit where credit's due, because PSG come out of nowhere. Because when Arsenal beat them last season, it was no, PSG is shit. They come from a farmers' league,
Enrique doesn't know what he's doing.
single-handedly went through every big team in the Premier League, in the Champions League. Forget us. That was in a competition that didn't really matter. And like
Our
But
board disrespected him, though. Our board disrespected him.
yeah,
So
well, yeah. There were certain conditions that they didn't want to meet, and they didn't agree eye to eye, which is whatever. It is what it is, but it just
It's
shows because I'm
because
not to be funny. This guy in a season and a half, well, 2 seasons in the same sort of time period. Think of it. If he was in the same situation that Enzo Mascarera is now, by this time Enzo would be in the Champions League now, demolishing everybody else. Last season, like from like
wait, Wolfie,
they started
Wolfie,
that dumb run and they just
do you
beat
think
Aston Villa, Man
do
City,
you think
Liverpool,
if Glasner
Arsenal.
comes to Chelsea, do you think he would be a yes man, Wolfie?
Well, you'd hope not.
well, the
Is he a
But
yes
reality
man?
is the
Was
reality
he?
is a lot of
Is
managers
he? Does he kick off in press conferences and that?
deals.
no,
Do you
man,
know what it is?
professional.
Yeah,
That's
wait,
not professional.
Wolfie. Do you know what it is? A lot of managers come here and become yes mans until they can't anymore. If you get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
until they just have that
Yeah,
breaking
you
point and
can't
like, okay,
stand
I've
it
had
anymore.
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
and you
But
can
Maresca
see
planned it though. Maresca planned it though. He
Maresca
planned to
planned
win a
it. Of
trophy.
course,
Yeah,
he was a
yeah.
yes man. Let's be
He no,
honest.
but he when he first walked through the door, yeah, I sort
Mm.
of think that Wolfie, did you have a feeling that he was gonna play the card and win a trophy, and then I told the board so and such in a meeting, I want a backing because I won you a trophy. Did you think he was gonna say that, Wolfie and JK? Did you have a feeling that he was gonna do that last
Do you know
season?
the thing is as well?
well,
It's
he had the
like,
right to.
yeah, but then
Yeah, he
Wolfie, if I'm gonna
does.
be honest, Maresca, no matter whether the amount of times we criticized him at the same time, he's gonna have a lot of teams going for him. I'm telling, and I'm talking world top teams like Real Madrid, like
Mm.
because they're gonna look at that Chelsea job and like, you know what, with the squad he has had there, imagine what you can do with it. And
Well,
what I
that's
can
the
give to
difference between the Premier
Maresca,
League though and every other
but
league. You're competing with the best
but then
managers.
Wolfie, what I can say as well, I think Maresca, if he goes to a team like Bayern Munich or let's say Real Madrid, hypothetically, I genuinely think he can do well there, just because he will have the
Yeah,
players to
that's
his
because Bayern
disposal.
Munich
That's
and
the thing.
they have a monopoly on their league. That's the one. That's the reason why the Premier League is so hard compared to everybody else. Because the
And
money
that's
in
the
the
thing. He
Premier
can
League is
go
different
there and
than
do his football there because first you can say the league is a bit of a monopoly. This is not an excuse because you know what? Managers
America.
managers can come anywhere else and still win the title. Like look at Slot. He did come in and won Liverpool title. But at the same time, some managers just thrive under just a league that's just more suitable to them, if you get
But
what I'm saying. Yeah.
JK and Wolfie, do you think the Man City links towards him became at a odd time? Because did you really think that he do you think he was
Nah,
talking
not
to
no
Man
time, man.
City?
It's Christmas, bro. All the
Do
transfer
you,
rumors and stupid that comes out at this time, man. Nah, man.
no, you're right, you're right. All
No,
the
but then I
No.
wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it's true.
Anytime you get approached into a transfer window, Chelsea are going to be linked with all names under the sun, and everyone at Chelsea is going to be linked with everybody else, bro. I'm not being funny. What right does he even have to assume he would even get the job? You ain't won no league titles. Even Slot had come in and won a league title
no
faster than you
facts.
did.
No,
So,
you're
like, what
right.
right do you
No,
have to expect?
but then Wolfie, at the same time, what Maresca will guarantee when he goes there is backing. Top backing, by the way.
But that
So
doesn't,
that's what you
yeah,
can give
just because you
City.
get back, don't mean you
At
get
the same
success.
time, yeah, but
Even
then
Pep, they had to be patient with, bro. They had to wait
but then
3 years,
yeah,
two
but then
years.
Wolfie, we've also all agreed that Maresca hasn't been back properly. Let's be honest. So if I'm gonna be honest
Not
with you,
when you got
if
players
he
like
leaves
Donnarumma
Chelsea,
going to City for like 27 million, and we could easily replace Sanchez. Like, yeah, I agree on that. But the thing is, like Deal was also mentioned earlier, it's what he signed up for.
and it's what he
Handed.
signed up
Yeah.
for, I understand that exactly. And this is the thing,
It's
like
not new because you went through the same thing last season. Like, you didn't get no big names last season. You know what I mean? The biggest
mm,
name you got in this transfer window was probably João Pedro. So it's just kind of
And
like it's not.
yeah, it is what it is.
he wanted three of the signings that we made last summer. He wanted three of them, but not to say that, and not every player that you're gonna get backed with. Do you know what I mean? It's not like not every club's manager gets backed. You know what I'm saying?
You just ride your
Even
luck when it comes to managing this club. That's how
Well,
like
the thing
you
is, it either
sometimes get what
works
you
out
want,
for you, or it
sometimes you want.
doesn't. And even
That's
for
just
people
life
who
in
it
general.
works out for, sometimes it's seen as a sort of short-term solution.
Mm.
Because, like, again, that's the
But
issue
to
with
be fair,
Chelsea, man.
but at least we know what Maresca wants. Maresca just wants full control. He wants full control of what he like of his like. He wants someone to just listen to him and just give me the players I need. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I tell you what,
And
before
that's
I
not the
think
club,
of him,
unfortunately.
No, but before I can say, give Maresca an unlimited war chest, there's one thing, and I think Dill's pointing this out was the original one to point out to me, right? You need to stop starting games with 2 right backs on the bench and like a centre back at right back. Do you remember when you pointed that out to me, Deals, way back?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
is
that's
it this
probably
guy
right. Yeah,
always starts off with 2 right backs on the bench and you got a centre back at right back? We always end up losing. And check it. To this day, you know, true say, like, ever since Deal said that, I've been clocking that. And every time we start with Reece James and Gusto on the bench, and like there's a Chalobah or a Fofana at right back, I just think, shit.
we
and
can't be.
Wolfie, go on, go on.
JK, and Wolfie. Do you think it's wise that we play at Villa tomorrow, or do you think we should sit back? What do you
No,
think?
you know what? I actually have to say, going on to the Villa game now because we might as well cover it because we'll
Yeah,
build into that, but we've got an hour and a half. So it's been good though, I admit, but we need to cover that game now anyway. So it's just one of those ones where do I believe? No, bro, defend, drop back and defend. Because I'm not being funny. Villa, a classic Unai Emery team, they'll counter attack us, bro. When you look at what Unai
Yeah,
Emery do well, they'll counter attack us and split us open. And the thing is, when you look at Villa, they were a team that bought a couple of new players. They were bedding in their system. And I'm not being funny. Like you can tell, they had a slow start to the season because a lot of their players were trying to get fitness. But the one thing I like about Unai Emery's management style, he manages long term, bro. He'll sacrifice a bit at the beginning of the season, so mid season, late season, his team's fully fit and everyone else looks gas, but they look fresh. Even how nowadays, bro, because like that's the thing about Villa, they look fresh compared to everybody else. And like,
there's so
look at
much
Ollie Watkins, bro.
individualism when
Ollie
it comes
Watkins
to
come
Villa.
back to life all of a sudden. Like it's like this guy was quiet all season, but in December, Ollie Watkins. It's mad.
He's got them playing good football. I actually like Unai Emery.
Yeah,
Yeah,
If
I
he
like
wasn't
you
out,
know. Right.
if he, but
yeah,
again,
he's a good coach.
at the same time, I watched them against United. They wasn't that great against United, to be honest.
But they won
Like
deals.
you, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they
United played
won,
well.
but yeah, they won, but they only had that opportunity from Morgan Rogers, the twice Morgan Rogers, right? And Morgan Rogers, he's a good player, 100%. But again, have they got enough in their attack to get at us? I don't know, man. I
Well,
feel
bro,
like
they've leapfrogged us in the league. Of course they can attack us, bro. Of
yeah,
course they
but
Yeah,
I
can
feel
attack
exactly.
like
us. They
I feel
still got Leon Bailey, right? And man's like that. So
yeah,
then
Yeah,
but
Bailey plays for
they
Roma. He
can
doesn't
stretch
play
us,
for.
bro, and they can
He don't
counter
play
us,
for
bro.
Villa no more.
every time Villa come to our ground though, we beat them. No, we do beat them. We beat
Bro,
them
we've had
last time.
Sunderland come to Stamford Bridge and take a result off of us, bro. Don't count your chickens, bro.
Yeah,
Don't count your
I know.
chickens. They're
I
not
don't think
Spurs. As much as we like to
I,
put everybody else in the Spurs
no.
category, they're not Spurs.
I'm not saying that we're gonna walk over them, but I watched them against Man United. Yeah, Man United had a couple of chances against them as well.
They
Let's not
also
lie
they
that.
was and also
Yeah, go
remember
on.
they didn't. They also got battered against Liverpool. I remember the Anfield game. They didn't play
Yeah,
well at
they
all,
did.
and
They
that's the
did.
thing. So, and what they did also, they nullified Morgan Rogers and McGinn. Those two are the biggest threats. If I'm gonna be honest, so if we can do that,
Yes,
I think we're fine. I
I
think
And
we're
we
rate
need to
their
fine.
keep an eye on
midfield as
Watkins,
well.
bro. We need to
Their
keep an eye on
midfield,
Watkins because that guy likes to score against us, bro.
their midfield is underrated as well. You know, Onana and that Kamara guy, very
Oh
Naturally.
yeah,
underrated
brother.
still.
Yeah, the Kamara guy.
You
Yeah,
know the one player, I think we need
And
if he
Tillemans.
plays. You know the one. If there's one player we need to target, and he's dipped a bit from last season compared to this one. If they play Matty Cash, bro, we need to get at that guy because this
yeah.
season
Yeah,
That's
he hasn't looked as solid. Like he's looked a bit shaky recently. So if we got anyone to tactically focus on that, I think we should focus on him because he almost got sent off the last time he played. And he scored an own goal, didn't he? Or he caused the
well.
penalty.
The Matty Cash gets taught to box crush most of the time, so you can
No,
understand.
but does Gideon start or Garnacho start? Says JPT. Well, I got a feeling if Maresca has his weight, it'll be Garnacho. But
I mean,
I'm not
Gittins
even.
can't start. I don't
I
really get.
prefer Gideon to Garnacho because there's more to Gideon's game. I
I'm
think
going.
Gideon's can cross and stuff.
I'm gonna go with Neto on the left. Yeah. No, or no, no,
Yeah,
no.
something
I
like
would
that.
mind that. I would not mind that. And Estefan on the right. I would not mind that at all,
Yeah,
deals.
yeah, but
I would
Yeah,
not mind
no,
it.
you know with this
Over there,
manager, you know with this
and shit.
manager, You know, with this manager, he's got an obsession of playing Canacho or Gittins on that left hand side because he wants to
Bro,
see what he's
everybody,
got.
bro, all wingers nowadays are cut inside merchants, bro. That's their primary skill now. You cut inside and shoot. Like Salah cuts inside and shoot. Saka cuts inside and shoot. Garnacho cuts inside and shoot. Everyone that
You
that's
know
why does.
the only player that I saw. You know the only player that I saw that pulled that off really well was Rashford. The cut
What from
inside
But
and
us?
score
I
thing. That
don't
was his
think
thing. Marcus Rashford,
I
yes.
don't think
That's back
I
in his
don't think we
prime.
got
You used to just cut back and score.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
think we
right.
got
Yeah,
I
but
don't
he was.
I
That
don't
was his
think
thing.
what Maresca wants us our wingers to do is play out from the touchline though. And do you think we have that them sort of wingers that play out from the touchline, Wolfie and JK?
No,
No
we
wait,
don't.
this is what we've been talking about. Like
No, because
the
they're
thing
Yeah.
playing.
is, we can cast our
They're
wingers,
playing the opposite foot because every pass they got to make or cross they got to make, they got to do in their weaker foot.
and that's the thing. And
No.
deep it, Wolfie, if we don't rate them 1v1, why make it worse by them being the touchline winger? They
Well,
need to
look at
create their own
Garnacho. Look at the
chances.
amount of chances that guy's missed. Think
Yeah, that
about
as
it.
well. But
It's
and
like
that's
the
the
team.
thing.
It's like the
So
Argentinian Timo Werner, brother. It's been horrible watching the amount of times that guy's booted off shots or just hit it too hard or shot it over the net. Like, I don't like Garnacho, man. I hate him. To be fair, if that was the one,
But
I know he was cheap. That's why they signed him and he was a name. But don't
Wolfie,
rate him.
I noticed, yeah, that the opposition tell their fullbacks to stay off defending, yeah. They tell them to stay defending, don't push up because you know that they're battled for the one-on-ones against our wingers because our wingers have been told to play on the touchline so much and the space that there is in the Premier League, there's no space because you have to make the pass very fast to be on for the wingers to even get close to the attack to attack. And
What
this is
about
my
this? What about
problem.
what JPT saying about playing maybe Palmer on the right and Pedro Neto on the left?
Well, he's never gonna try that out. This is my problem with Maresca. He's very stubborn. If you notice,
Yeah,
he
I
likes
agree.
his attack. He likes his attack how it to be on a normal basis on his decision. Do you know what I mean? And he never tests anything out, and this is my problem. Based on the opposition, you got to change your style based on the opposition. You don't
Yeah,
change
exactly.
it.
he's a reaction
You don't.
manager instead of an acting
You
manager.
don't.
Yeah, you're
You
right. I
don't
agree.
change it. You don't change it just because you think, oh, I need to change it because it's not working. Change it because it needs changing. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Set
And
up properly.
this squad doesn't need a reactive manager. As bad as the squad people would say is, if I'm going to be honest, this manager. This is what I'm trying to say. The squad needs a manager that can have a system in place. You know what I'm saying? A setup in place that can also bring chaos to the opposition, but also improve their fundamentals as the
Yeah,
season
you
goes
made it
on.
like we saying
You
about
know what I'm
tactics.
saying?
Make Chelsea harder to beat.
And this is why exactly, and this is why I say screw tactics sometimes. I'm like, no, none of this overcomplicated nonsense. No one is Pep. People can people just stick to the old way
Well,
of
Pep
just
struggled over the last season and a
wingers.
half.
I know, but like at the same time, like, can people just let the wingers just let them be free? They don't need to do this extra stuff, please. They're not right backs. They're not defenders. And please, right backs are not midfielders. Stop inverting them. Like it's really annoying. Let the striker get goals. That's his main thing. He doesn't always have to link up.
Well, Aaron, it's interesting you touched on the point there because one thing about it is even when we have because we look for the overload in midfield and that's why our wing backs invert. A lot
Mm.
of the problem is nowadays with us is that makes us play too narrow and we're simply no good at it.
And this is
And the
why
thing is, there's no one. Okay, you think of maybe Palmer. Who else in the midfield can actually keep the ball and run with it?
Crusaders.
Yeah, but we leave him as a defensive cover anchor, so that rules him out of running up the pitch.
it's
Probably
just called
He's
Palmer.
not a
is
Concedo.
Palmer.
I love Concedo as a player. Don't get me wrong, but he's not a ball carrier.
Do you
Yeah,
think
The
he's
João
not
closest
allowed to
Pedro
be a
thing
ball
is
is?
oh,
Do
carrier.
you think João
that's
If
Pedro?
Concedo, but he
if
But
doesn't.
João Pedro
Caicedo's a
does
ball
it though.
carrier, deal with
João
you know
Pedro
what?
does it sometimes though.
But
I
you
give
know
him
Yeah,
that.
when he
João
Caicedo.
drops
Pedro.
deep, but the thing is, when he drops deep to get the ball deals, who's up front now?
No
And that's
word
the
for
issue.
real.
And when João Pedro drops deep, he drops way too deep. he drops he drops all the way back to the centre backs at times. It doesn't make any sense. And if I'm gonna be honest, the reason why Caicedo's not a right, he's not allowed to be. He's really not allowed to ball carry. If he ball carries, Maresca will not play him at all. So he needs to have his duty of just just protecting the center of the pitch. You know what I'm saying? Just covering the wide areas. Just in case of any turnovers, he's there to
But
stop any
he
On
counter
tells
top of the
attacks.
thing, that's why we need to sell
Yeah.
Lavia, bro. We need someone else that can hold the midfield. And I must admit, I like Lavia. I think he's talented. But if you're never going to be fit and you're never going to be able to play, this guy needs to be replaced. I'm
they're gonna
sorry.
replace it. They're gonna replace him though.
He needs to be. I'm sorry, man. Loan this guy out. Whatever. Let him try and rebuild his body, get fitness again. But half the reason why we struggle so badly half the time, particularly over the last 2-3 years, is because like the squad depth we've got are never there. Like Wesley, granted, actually, and this is another thing I'll give Enzo credit for as well. He's kept Wesley Fofana fit as well as Palmer and like Reece James has
James,
come back to fitness, and as well as like things like that. But ultimately, like you can't have holes in the middle of the pitch, brother. And that's ultimately what when we.
Wolfie,
Yes, sir.
Wolfie, what happens? I'm gonna ask you a question. Yeah, what happens when Gusto has a stinker like the other day? Yeah, and you see that like the other day when he changed Reece James to the right back. Yeah, and Reece James played exceptional, yeah, against Newcastle away, yeah. What happens when Gusto is having a stinker and James has to play right back because we've seen in the past with Reece James playing right back and he gets injured a lot.
Well, that's the thing. When we expected Reece James to come back, we all expected him to stay as a right back, and he's been kind of pushed into this midfield role. And against Arsenal,
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, he shined, but just because some player like shines in a position for one game doesn't mean we've covered. Like you know what I mean? Like if football seasons were one match, all right, cool. But you got 38 play to play with like varying different oppositions. Reece James might be great in one game, but he's going to be shit in another. This is why you have
yeah,
depth. And
yes, but this,
unfortunately, when it comes to ball winning midfielders, that's just why everyone kind of thought we were going to struggle without Cancelo. We didn't do too badly without him, even though we did get smashed in the game.
he doesn't trust Chimpong a lot as well. That's another thing as well.
Mm.
I've
I
seen
actually
him
got
the
credit
way.
for Jeremy, actually. He started off the season quite well, and he's kind of been dropped lately because he showed he could handle the pressure. And didn't he play against Arsenal as well?
Yeah, no, he played against
Was it Liverpool? Was it Liverpool?
Atlanta.
Didn't he play against Liverpool as well, though? He played against
Yeah, he
someone.
played against he played against Liverpool and yeah, and he played well against Liverpool as well. That's another
Exactly.
one
This is another thing
that
as well. Look at Mark Gee as well, another striker we've got who maybe might be better than what the managers made him out to be because he just doesn't get enough minutes. Because
yeah,
this is
but
the thing.
that's based on the manager's profile. He prefers
Yeah, I get
a
that, but
jet.
this is when we go back to JK's point of if you have tools at your disposal, you use them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like this is the thing. Like he's still part of the squad. You know what I mean? And as you both refer to yourself, you know what I mean? Like Enzo Maresca would have had some say on it. Not he might not have got like the full like he might have said Simon Osherman and they got him a João Pedro, but with a player that's
Wolfie, do
more
you know what it is here? I think it's based on the system as well. You don't trust to play certain players in his system. But if you look at it, yeah, if you don't trust certain players in the system, you've been told that you got to work what you got to work with. So I don't understand why he can't improve them.
Then
yeah,
why is
that's
he in the
Maybe
job?
this
That's
is
the
what we were
question.
saying about improving the
Then
players
then then
in
why
the system.
then why is he in the job? And that's the issue we have here. And this is where it comes back to my point. If the owners want to develop young players, get a manager that's actually willing to develop them properly, not stick to not to have a principle, not to have a
Yeah.
principle and they stick by it, but to also also make the young players adapt. You know what I'm saying? Also adapt to them. A
The
manager has
manager
to
don't
adapt
need
to
to
his
do that.
players,
Yeah, the
not the
manager
managers.
don't need to do that.
Exactly. It's not all the time the players have to adapt to the manager's system. You know the players that you have, they're not ready yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that comes much later. That comes later. Remember what happened when Tuchel came in? After we played after the Champions League campaign, we played it a different way where you can clearly see our style of play was to, overload the fullbacks, have a let's say a certain style where we're just hard to beat. He was able to implement that properly, and because of that, we were able to at least contend for the title. And let's say late January, which was okay for our standards at the time. But then we also got frustrated because the Lukaku thing happened, this, that, and the other. But at the same time, you can see that there was a style of play in place, and all Tuchel need was just the right players. You know what I'm saying? Which he was going to get, if I'm going to be honest, the next season. But
What
then the owners
JK
Yeah,
came
the
in.
new
JK
administration screwed him
Yeah,
over.
J,
You all know Tuchel
JK
screwed him
yeah.
over. That's
JK Wolfie, do you think that he understands when a player is having a poor game? Because the other day, yeah, against Newcastle, he didn't really understand that Garnacho was having a stinker on that left hand side. And
Mm.
I mean, that's
he
still on
wasn't
him.
doing anything. Yeah, go on, Wolfie.
Right now,
Go.
one thing I don't like about, and I mentioned this to JK before you come on the stream deals, was the fact of with when it comes down to Enzo Maresca, he's too reactive instead of proactive, meaning he won't correct things at the beginning of the game. He won't see things coming, and
Yeah, yeah,
that's what the Ancelottis and the Tuchels and whatever else they do. They shut down potential avenues. And even someone like Gus Hiddink used to do it, bro. I remember one time that when we were playing someone in the chat, I can't remember who it was, and they were getting headers on us. So he took Aspilicueta off and put Ivanovic on just to cover the height. You know what I mean? As a
Was it
manager,
was it Conte? Was it Conte?
no.
Was it
It was
Conte?
Gus Hiddink. It was Gus Hiddink. It was Gus Hiddink.
Or
The
Sarri?
second
Was it
goal.
Sarri? Was it Sarri?
I think yeah, after Surrey, yeah, exactly. When he looked after us as a caretaker manager for the second time. But the thing is,
Yeah,
this is what JK is getting at. You know what I mean? If you're going to have a bunch of kids, you need a world class manager to guide them and make good decisions. Like, for example, using our history would be Jose Mourinho was a world class manager that came into Chelsea. He had people that were maybe potentially world class, but because Lampard wasn't world class at the time, John Terry wasn't world class at the time. He developed a system of style for the players, which was the 4-3-3, which suited the players that he had, the Drogbas, the Good Johnsons. Because don't forget, this is the thing. Like, arguably our best front three was Drogba, Robben, Duff, and that's two left footers in two different positions. And that's because they could unlock any team, brother. And that's because of Drogba, Robbins, and
but
like movement.
Wolfie and JK, do you think Maresca will ever find out his favorite 11 for Chelsea, or you think it will always be
You know
what
what?
he's doing now?
Before I can argue that point, I want to see a Chelsea team fit for a whole season. I mean, the whole squad, which is something I
Yeah,
haven't seen for years. And this is the thing. This is
yeah,
what I always say that hampers him, because I do feel for Maresca in the sense of he's working with the same tools that we know that haven't worked for the last 3 years. Because let's be honest, Lavia's been injury prone ever since we've got him. Reece James has showed improvement recently. When it comes to Wesley Fofana, he's not the greatest player, but he's shown more improvement towards his fitness. Badashili this season has seen against, like, with the Liverpool game, he can play well and defend well and like defend set pieces.
yeah.
He's fit. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know, it's like we're trying to run a car with a flat tire, bro. Sooner or later you gotta change the wheel, you know?
No, with Badashili, yeah, he's a very good passer. But other than that, I don't think we're getting the best out of him.
You know
Like
what?
if you
The big problem we had in the center of defense was Levy Colwell got injured because, I had my criticism throughout last season, but at the back end of last season, he was actually beginning to be that player that we all expected him to be. He was strong on the ball, you know what I mean? He led like the defensive line, he took defensive responsibility, he was tackling, and then he got injured for most of this season. I do agree that we needed a centre back, and another thing that's a potential problem is if Cucurella gets injured, we are screwed on the left side of the pitch.
yeah, because Hattle's injured now as well.
So yeah, I think we've always been short in that area because Hato, because he's 19, you can slot him in anywhere whenever you like, really, because he's not going to come from Ajax expected to walk into
Wait,
the.
Hato is still injured.
He's injured for 2 weeks apparently.
How did
Well,
he get injured? He's not been playing.
well,
He's
you know,
in
but
training.
either way,
Oh,
I don't know about how you two feel. Lavia's a must go. No offense for me, he's had his chance. He's been at
And
Chelsea 2
Wolfie, what do you
years.
think, Wolfie and JK? What would you think? What do you think the reason why Gittins wasn't in the bench the other day last weekend? Do you think it was because he's ill? Or did Maresca clarify that? Like he was
I don't know. I don't know
I don't
what's happening
know.
with him. But I'm not
I
being
think
funny.
it.
It's
Yeah,
so small. It's not really worth digging out. No offense with
Yeah.
this guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he's just putting out a little bit of ball to suit whatever rotation he's picking at the time.
Mm.
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, but what Dales? What was your question again? Was it would Maresca ever rotate? Is I don't know. Have his
Would he
best
find?
11?
Would he ever find out what his best 11 is at Chelsea?
No, he's confused. Even if he has everyone fit, the thing is this. I feel like when you're a young manager, sometimes you need to test with what you've got. Some I feel that there's so many games where he's just experimenting, and when you're young, you're not gonna help it. You want to experiment. So, for example, Tosin playing each game, and also he's worried about, and if everyone is back, and if everyone's back, he's
Big
gonna
up
be worried about
Medina.
fitness.
Big up. Big up.
He's gonna be worried about the fitness. So what he does, even if someone's not injured, he'll be worrying about the fitness, which I get. So what he would do, a must win game like Leeds, he will play someone like Tosin or Achampong at right back. You know what I'm saying? So he's already shown it as well. And the thing is, sometimes injuries they happen. They happen to every team. If I'm gonna be honest with you, although this season we've just had Cole Palmer, who was really out. To be honest, a lot of the squad were fit. I know people are gonna say Asugo, this, that, and the other. Please, let's stop it. Because as soon as Asugo comes in, they'll be like, oh, what's Asugo? Why is Asugo doing this? So this thing that people say we have a world class depth. No, it's not true. We don't have we don't have a good squad. And people say the thing is it's only good by quantity, which means we only have positions. We have a lot of positions in the same. Okay, we got positions to cover the same, but they're not of the quality. If you get what I'm saying. So people say,
JK.
okay, we got Garnacho is starting, but then if Garnacho is out, we can have Gittins, but those two are not that good. If you get what I'm saying. But then people say we got Cucurella, is then Hato will come in, but then people don't know whether Hato will hit the ground running
Let me say this.
instantly.
Let me say this,
If you
JK
get what I'm
and
saying.
Wolfie. Yeah. Let me
Yeah.
ask you a question. Yeah. Would you test out one of the academy boys over Ganacho and Gittins?
No, not at
Yeah.
all.
No, I would. I'd like to see Tyreek George play instead of
No,
Garnacho
no,
sometimes.
no, not him, not him, not him,
No,
not
he's
him.
talking about bring someone out of the under 21s.
Oh right.
That's the thing.
Oh no, no.
Why?
No,
I,
look, I'll tell you
I
why.
think, but then
Maresca,
there's someone like Jesse Derry that is very good in the academy,
but
and
deals
he's
is this?
very good.
I understand what you're saying, but is he a touchline winger there? He's not
Yeah, he is. He is.
a
They're
touchline
utilizing
winger.
him. Yeah, they're utilizing him in that role because the academy role has exactly the same effect, is same as the first team because I
That
know
is a big risk.
the
Big
coach
risk.
the coach for the under 21s is playing exactly the same system that Maresca is playing. But
Kind of, but at the same time, he overlaps his fullbacks.
I do
I know
watch
who you're talking
Jesse
about.
Derry though. I
Je-
do watch Jesse Derry a
No,
lot,
you
and
could
he
rate him, but that doesn't mean he's going to
Jesse
get in
Derry
the
doesn't play the same system as Maresca. What he does, he actually overlaps the fullbacks, but then the wingers they link up with the striker most of the time. So I've seen 5 games and I've seen that a lot. Even games where we've lost. I watch the under 21 games sometimes. I don't watch it religiously, but yeah. But from what I've seen, I see that the right backs kind of overlap. I'm still trying to find the names. I don't know much about the academy names. I
there's
only know
another one
that's
called that
I
Rabachi
only know
as well. That
Maweka and then not this.
Well, JK says, sorry, JBT says, only academy kids I would trust for cameos is Reggie Walsh and Mahika.
And Maweka, but
no,
Maweka's a striker. That's the
I
issue.
do like, I do like Jesse Derry, and there's another one called uh Ryan McQueen. I think he's very good as well. They're next up in it, but as long as like, I don't think that will happen because Maresca doesn't trust the youth, as we've seen. He doesn't trust the youth. He doesn't trust it. You've seen the way he's using a chimpong already. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah,
these are the
he
We
sort
will.
of
know we need to be careful on the way we word. Maresca doesn't trust. Is he doesn't trust, or his system just doesn't work for them, or he just doesn't know how to develop them properly?
Well, that still
Like,
comes
the
with trust,
system.
doesn't it?
and
He just
that's
doesn't
one
trust
thing.
the players.
People say, "Oh, this person doesn't trust." I expect that level of talking when it's a Mourinho or Lewis Henry, but then someone like Maresca, who's very new, to the game, he's still got a lot to learn when it comes to the player development, especially when it comes to a whole 11. If you get what I'm saying, so
Yeah. And Maresca's got a lot of man management to learn for me as well.
yeah.
Yeah. And then
The question is,
when he
does the
gets
players
found
trust
out,
him?
when he gets found out though, have you noticed? Yeah, he's on the sidelines, like he's worried. He's proper worried on the
And
sidelines
D
when he
was
gets
good
found
point.
out.
And this is the best point because you can say, does he trust the players? But do the players trust him when it comes to shits? That's the thing. And this is where he pay. This is where he gets his money. So yeah.
Right. We're going to go for nearly an hour and 50 minutes. So, right, I want to get score lines from everybody, then we're going to wrap it up. Because originally we were supposed to. Normally, we only expect to go for about an hour. As always, with Blues
When's
Brothers,
JP
about an
coming
hour and
back?
40 minutes.
When when's JP coming back? Do you know when
He's
he's coming
busy,
back?
busy there,
Well,
man.
when he's got time, bro, because at the minute he's had to work double shifts more or less because his company
And
fired.
Wolfie, do you still chat to the rivals or that? You still chat to Tony?
Which Tony?
You
The
remember
the Ghana
Tony?
guy, Claude, Tony Claude.
Who's have to speak to Tony Claude? Why?
You still chat
Yeah,
to him?
I still speak to Tony Claude, to be honest.
Yeah, why?
I
Why wouldn't
like
I?
him. He's a good
No,
guy.
no, I'm just asking still because I'm just wondering still. When are you gonna get him on the show?
I don't know because he's doing
I
his
can talk to him
refereeing
because
thing at the
me and him
moment, so
talk.
I'll have
I
to
talk
ask
to him
him.
regularly. I can talk to
He's a
him.
nice guy,
But
man. He was on
yeah,
my. He was in one of my streams a couple of weeks ago. So like,
What
yeah,
about
man.
Prime?
Tony Claude TV, big up to
You
him.
spoke to
Subscribe
Prime.
to him. He's one of the first people that had me on YouTube with him. So yeah, man, big up to him.
You
Nah,
spoke to Prime.
man.
You spoke to Prime Wolfie.
Prime, I have.
yeah. Don't ask me about that one. Deal.
Prime, I haven't. No, Prime, I'm blessed with, but I haven't heard with him. He hasn't made no attempt to contact me over the last few months where I've been busy off of YouTube. But as
Okay,
far as
yeah,
I know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like with you, deals, like you've been doing your thing, I've been doing mine. I don't talk with every single little person like that I've ever met on YouTube. That would be impossible to keep. There's a few people
Yeah.
that I keep an eye on, but realistically, if they show me personal interest back, I show personal interest back in reciprocation. But if they don't, they don't.
It's
Hey,
You
fair
know
Wolfie,
what
you
I
enough,
know
mean?
what?
though. It's
Wolfie, you know the funniest thing about this? Deals asked about Prime, and me and you decided Miss Wolfie. It was so funny. Saying,
Look. I ain't got listen. When
you
it
just
comes to
signed
me
he's a
everything.
personally, I
It's
haven't
character.
funny,
got no
man.
He's
problem
a
with listening
character.
to Prime. But let me just say he turned. Let me let me just say he
Oh man.
turned certain people's stomachs. Like I don't want to literally like get in the middle of. So there's one thing about it. Okay, I love Prime, right? But I've had one or two complaints about him. And
Okay, okay,
I'm not going to
fair
get into
enough.
what about or why because there's no
Yeah,
need to.
yeah,
Like if
yeah,
he
yeah,
ever wants
yeah,
to come on here and give an opinion, he's more than welcome to.
yeah,
But
yeah,
one thing
yeah.
about Prime is like where he's very rigid in his thinking at times. And
Yeah.
like once he's got his mindset, he's got his mindset. Hey man, I don't mind if he's like myself. Sometimes I get stuck on my opinions as well. But like likewise, if he wants to come on, I'm not.
Another thing is
I've never
another thing
stopped.
as well. Another thing as well with Wolfie and JK. Yeah, what I need to speak about as well. Do you think that players are trying to keep their performances up? Yeah, no, in like in injury free because of the World Cup as well. Do you think
Yeah,
that will
cool.
take?
Everyone's got but that's bro. That's been the same thing for players for the last like 100 years. Like that ain't nothing new.
Yeah,
Like, come
everyone
on,
Yeah,
wants to
man.
play
yeah,
for the
yeah.
World Cup.
They want to make their money. They want to like fulfill their contracts. They want to get bonuses like everybody else. Like that ain't nothing new, brother. Cool. All players that do that because
Everyone
that's
wants
their
to play World
career.
Cup.
You think of what? Because don't forget, that's the problem when when you essentially play for two teams, your national
Yeah.
team and your normal club team. You know what I mean? Like that. They've always got that in mind, bro. You think that's why Salah wasn't crying about? That's why Salah let out his message to Liverpool fans about, oh, they don't start me, they throw me on, because he wanted to be fit for Egypt. So like because of
Mm.
the African Cup of Nations. So of course. But
They
that's
also in the World Cup as well,
that's
so
but look,
Egypt. So
but right, I'm gonna ask you both, and I'm gonna start with Deals. Deals, what do you think the score will be? Aston Villa tomorrow.
I think we can win 2-1. I think we can win still. But again, at the same time, it's going to be a very tough game. Like you said, Emery is a good manager. He's got Villa playing very good football as he's been doing. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think we can get the win. I think we can get the win. I think Esteval will probably score one a late winner, and Palmer's going to score an early goal. So I think.
All right, JK.
Yeah, I agree with Deals. 2-1.
2-1. All right, Stepsy reckons 2-2. Rosie says Chelsea 3, Villa 1. Fair enough. DJ Crane says Villa 3, Chelsea 2. So Villa taking the win, and we draw 2 to JPT says we draw 2-2 with a red card, which I wouldn't be surprised.
If we get a red card, we lose. If we get a red card, we lose.
That back.
About draw. If we get a red card, we're not getting
seeing a
we're
red
losing.
card, fam.
If we get a red card, we lose.
You know what? I'm gonna have to, excluding the red card. I'm gonna have to maybe agree with JPT there. Like,
well, Wolfie, are you doing a watch along?
Yes, sir.
Are you gonna watch it? He's gonna be on there. He's gonna be on there.
I'm not. I don't do watch alongs. I just like to watch my game in peace.
Oh, is it?
Well, fuck you, JP.
Not in peace, but like, but imagine, but like seriously, Wolfie, but like Wolfie, seriously, like, imagine someone's ahead of me and I'm just saying, nah, allow it. I mean, I watch it with family, I watch it with my brothers and all of that and my sisters, but like, man, watch along is too much work, man.
No, watch alongs are good, but you are right.
I have to big you up for it. I'll big you up for it though.
That's why I hate sitting the fucking Stepsy sometimes and Rosie, because Rosie's even worse because she uses all the betting apps because she's got accumulators and shit. So she knows before the TV. So I'm sitting there watching live TV and she'll be like, goal, such and I'm like, what?
Wolfie, have you ordered off topic for Have you ordered GTA 6?
No.
It's coming out. It's coming back. Oh, what? They put it back again?
They put it back in. Bro, I don't waste my time. Computer games, bro, they come out when they come out. Rosie's not.
Yeah.
And considering that GTA was supposed to be out at the beginning of 2026, and then they put it back to summer, and now they're saying they might put it back even more. It's because it's going to be one of those games that create confidence.
Yeah.
This is why Rockstar worked with GTA 5 for so long, because it was an established, and they still bring out content for it.
Wolfie, it's so bad. Even it's even like I'm restarting the story mode again for GTA 5. So that's how bad it is. I'm just doing the story mode again. Huh?
Do you guys play GTA on PlayStation or Xbox?
Do you know what it is? I play it sometimes, innit? When I get tired,
you need to get in my crew, bro. I got like a whole crew set up in GTA 5. I mean,
what's your game tag, man? Send it to me.
Reina 808. Yeah, I'll send it to you still. Like Reina 808.
I do, man.
Me, my missus, a couple of my friends, like we're all hardcore. We're doing it. We've still got a diamond heist in the casino to do, bro. If you want to do that with us.
Yeah.
And JK as well. What do you say you do on Xbox or PlayStation, JK?
PlayStation, innit? But the thing is, I don't play online though. That's the issue.
Oh, you slacker, bro.
Yeah,
I've got all the properties.
I don't play online, but I don't. I used to, but then I stopped. I just stopped playing online on console now.
You know how stupid I was? I bought the yacht. You know the GTA 5 yacht, the one that costs like 11 million. For some reason, I bought that. For some reason. But it's funny,
but listen, back in my prime, when it came to GTA 5, listen, I was the best when it comes to
the control pad. Oh, come on.
You know what? Listen, Wolfie, I've got receipts, you know.
Back in my days.
Listen, I've literally got receipts. I've got receipts, you know.
Even my missus is sitting behind you laughing. She plays GTA 5. Shame on you.
No, listen, I play it, but I'm just not an online person no more. Ever since ever since the PS5 came out, I'm like, and then all the servers have just gone to PS5. I'm like, nah, okay, yeah. But the thing is, you might play on PS5, innit? I still have PlayStation 4, so.
My missus plays on PS4. I play on PS4. I don't play on PS5.
Oh, okay, cool.
I play my Diablo. Oh, hang on, Deals is gone. Why is Deals gone? You upset me?
I can't even hear you. That's the funniest thing. Or is it just my thing?
No, I can hear you if you can't hear me. Done casino time 8 ago.
I've done a casino before. To be honest, it's not that hard.
Hang on, remember when games would be sold at 100% with no DLC? Yes, I do. But anyway, so I got everyone's score. I have to go with JPT on my Aston Villa score. It'll be 2-2. But look, we're going to round it up because we've been going for nearly 2 hours. We're only supposed to do an hour stream. But here you go, typical Blues Brothers. But big up to everyone that's been jumping in. Obviously, please sub to Mel if you haven't. Good lady. Please sub to Rosie if you haven't as well. Good lady. Who else have we had in content creators? We had obviously who else did we have popping earlier? We had Dimes as well. Huh? Who else?
He's just coming, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not a content creator though. But big up to Aces for that. We had obviously Jordan as well, the Liverpool fan. Big up to him. We got a new comment. Take care, everyone. Says Rosie with a heart. Yeah. Stepsy said 2-2. Yeah, I know you said 2-2. I put your comment on screen earlier. I know you said 2-2. Look, there you go. I remember it. I promise. Look at him. I can just imagine him sitting there. I fucking said 2-2 as well. I can just imagine him doing it. Never mind. Yeah, but yeah. Rosie says take care, everyone. But anyway, big up to everyone that's been in the stream. Obviously, Stepsy, JPT, Rosie, Mel, Tony, obviously, Anthony, obviously. Who else? We had Jordan, obviously. Aces, obviously. Big up to all you lovely, beautiful people. Deals as well. Dimes as well. But make sure you subscribe to him as well. Obviously, JK is now sodded off as well. But make sure you give them a shout out or a like or a subscribe. All been good people. Tony Ybarra, of course. Big up to him. And we got a new comment. Leroy Brosif, of course, yes. If you don't know, get to know about the Fight Week show. Leroy as well. Big up Ola as well, who's now the main skip man of Bet365. It's been good fun, man. Yeah, I've missed doing this stuff. Anyway, everybody, good night. Stay safe. We're out of here. Well, I am now out of here because I'm the only fucking left. Peace.